Started the streaming. Are we back to the same one? Oh, the refreshed page. Maybe I pop out the chat again? Pop out separate chat. Put here. And this one can go to Vegas.
Not Vegas.
Not Vegas. Did you just get
Don't
that?
take me to Vegas!
Take me to Vegas.
Take me to Vegas right now!
Alright, Nova, take care. Alright.
Bye, Nova.
We'll start over from Rido Remastered from Jabby Jab Game. Is it finally Gex Night? It's Gex Night, dude. It's Detective Gex. There he is. And the Devil Summoner.
Him?
I guess. Because the Devil Summoner. I've never heard of it. I'm pretty sure I've seen that guy. Like that character's design, but I've never heard of this game.
I have literally never seen this in my life.
Cut the Gordian knot. Kuzunoha. He's so cool.
I really don't like how emotionless he is. It's kind of creepy.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Honker on
that. I don't like that thing either. Oh, it's a skeleton. It's a creepy, spooky Halloween. Wait, so this is just Persona?
Look at that belly movement.
Rub the bellas. The bellas? The Buddhist belly is what I tried to say. Oh, it is just Persona. That's Jack Frost.
Okay.
Okay. I don't like this character. Oh, I thought he had a mustache.
So I'm a guess.
Yeah.
There's farming sim. Maybe another farming sim.
At least one farming sim.
and maybe one more farming sim.
Maybe one more.
maybe something with magic and witchiness and farming.
Consume darkness.
With your memories gone, you have been summoned to a strange, unfamiliar world.
Shadow Labyrinth.
Where you're greeted by a yellow orb known
That's Pac-Man.
But who is this spherical stranger? More
Pac-Man.
mysterious, maze-like world. Your battle for
Wama,
survival
wama, wama, wama.
begins.
Oh my god, are you kidding me? Is this actually just Pac-Man?
Guides you on your journey. You'll delve deeper into the expansive world. By examining your surroundings,
What?
phase shift and combine with
Wait, but it's Bandai Namco. It is Pac-Man! Okay. I'm not insane.
This is actually pretty cool.
This is actually dope as shit. I didn't even realize it was Bandai Namco who developed this. That makes so much sense. This is sick. What?
The heck?
By consuming your prey, you'll collect resources that can then be used to enhance your
Bone fragment.
Bone fragment.
work
Is that
to
better?
uncover
Or is it
Pod's
still
true
too
goal
quiet?
And devour enemies to survive this cruel world.
This is
No, man.
sick! What? This is the coolest Pac-Man game I've ever seen.
No, man, no,
Shadow
man.
Labyrinth launches on Nintendo
man.
Switch July 18th.
Consume darkness.
Shadow Labyrinth. Wow. I love that logo. Okay, hold on.
Oh, I
Babe, did
didn't-
you
no, I
you
didn't.
gotta see this logo.
I was too busy with the consume darkness.
Look.
Yeah.
There's a little Pac-Man in the
Womp,
that's
womp,
great.
I can't stop.
Wow, wow, wow.
Yeah, that noise.
The
I
rhythmic
can't
march
do it.
begins.
Ooh, a game I'm gonna be really bad at because I have no rhythm.
Patapon and Patapon 2 are drumming onto
I've
Nintendo
never heard of
Switch
these.
as one bundle.
Wow, no way. Patapon won
Play
it.
your drum to the beat and give different commands to the Patapon
Patapon
army.
Chaka.
For example, Patapon advances them forward,
Oh.
while Pon Patapon has them attack.
Interesting. I like this.
And if you
cool
string
idea.
together
Yeah,
combos
just
with
conceptually I
good
like
That
it.
timing,
would be really
the
bad.
Patapon
I think I would
and
too.
get a big boost in power.
This is a PlayStation IP. It looks like a PSP game. You know what I mean? It looks like a Vita game.
To the shield savvy
It does.
Tatepon. Build up your battalion
As
to
a
take
Vita
on hordes
enjoyer,
of
I've
fierce
literally never heard
foes.
of this game though.
Oh, it is. Okay.
New
That makes a
features
lot of
have
sense.
been added, so you can advance to the beat of your own drum.
Okay, but they have you can have the option to always show the command, so that's useful.
Leave the Patapons and march forth. When Patapon 1+2
That's dope as
Replay
hell.
launches
Oh,
on
Sony
Nintendo
Interactive.
Switch
Wow, okay.
July 11th.
This was commissioned by Sony. Nice. Hello, Sophie.
Welcome to Zephyr
Zephyr
Cozy
Is
place
this it?
This,
nestled in a
Is
this
this a
must be
farming-
it.
is this a
This
farming
must
sim?
be it.
This
It's
is
come
where
on.
you-
That's the farming
I believe
sim.
this is
Th-
Story of Seasons.
Oh, is it? You're
Would you
right.
look at that?
Grand Bazaar.
It's like I played the game one time and I know all of them.
This immersive
I actually
farming
think I wanna
life
do
sim
this one,
has
though.
no shortage of
This is
activities
cute.
to get
The
up
Grand
to.
Bazaar, so like you sell shit, I'm guessing, which actually sounds really cute. and
You
fun.
must be Hans.
While growing crops and caring for animals.
Look at that big ass cow. Ah, big ass cow.
They know.
Produce
They
and
get
other
me.
wares at the town's weekly
Showing
bazaar.
cows every day. Yep, look, you're selling shit.
That's
Bazaar
cool.
sales
Okay.
Oh my god. You know what? I
Once
just
the
gives me weird
village market
flashbacks to.
regained its
Remember those old
splendor.
like Facebook games, like Farmville and stuff? I don't know why. Like it's just a
I'd like to
Farmville, but there's a person
I
in
fucked
it.
up some
And
Farmville
maybe
back in the
nurture a
day.
relationship
Me too.
to find that special someone.
It was bad. This is cute.
Plus, taking advantage of Zephyr
Oh,
Town's
Look at all of the things
That's
you can
cool.
do.
can make
Float on
travel
leaf.
and other tasks
Marry
a
girl.
breeze.
Sell produce.
Isn't it just the dream?
I know.
The
It sounds
winds
pretty
of change
peaceful,
are
actually.
coming, and
It's just that when I
your
say it like that, it makes me laugh.
begins when Story of Seasons Grand
Oh, what's up, Hero
Bazaar
Squad?
launches on the Nintendo Switch system August 27th.
Wow.
I would actually buy that.
Which Story of Seasons do you have?
I only did the demo. I never bought it. I
Oh,
was like,
okay.
okay, this is exactly like,
Okay, it's Harvest Moon that you have. Okay.
yeah, this is exactly like Stardew Valley, but 3D and a little janky.
It does look like even the hub looks like Stardew a
Yeah.
lot, just in 3D.
Twilight Princess?
No. Doesn't look like. It's,
Oh,
This is Metroing. What?
damn. Did that not look like Twilight Princess?
It looked more like a Zelda game than a Metroid game, but this is pretty cool.
Yeah, no.
Ooh, Samus is purple. Crazy that we're just getting a regular ass trailer for this now.
Whoa.
Neat.
This is the unknown planet Vuros.
Vuros.
Here,
That's what you guys
stands a
are.
eroded jungle with a colossal tree at its center.
Okay.
In order to survive and escape this planet that she was unexpectedly transported to,
That wasn't even that
Sans
funny. It was
must
just
scan
really
stone figures and other relics to carve a path forward.
Okay, this has like some exploring in it. This
Yeah.
might be a Metroid game that I would play.
Yeah, I think the other Prime games are like that too.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
She's not.
I mean,
alone.
kind of all of them, but
Horns,
mostly
alien creatures living in the jungle
Prime games.
are waiting to
Seamus?
strike.
That's his name? Seamus?
Samus and
Seamus. I like Seamus.
yeah, she's
Seamus?
Irish.
Oh, so she is a she.
Yeah, she's a she.
I was just thinking that is quite the figure.
On that man.
That's that.
On that
them
bounty
curbs.
hunter. Yeah, and then them
She
curves.
explores the planet.
No, not you,
Samus turns
Seamus.
to mysterious and
No
ancient
worries, Greg. I appreciate you.
psychic
I hope you've been well as well, buddy.
These powers
Psychic.
are
What? You have psychic abilities in this one?
mechanisms
That's pretty cool.
and open doors.
The
They
giant
also
onion
allow
door.
her to control the trajectory
These
of
things
her
are
beams
spooky.
with the power
What the hell?
of mind.
That's neat.
But why were these powers bestowed
Is that
upon
a peacock?
Samus?
Oh.
Okay, wait. I think I'd actually play this. How did I not know? Because I've never played a Metroid game. I don't even know the story. I know nothing about Metroid. That's how.
To be fair, I know nothing about Metroid either. I've never played a Metron.
Well, and I was out of gaming for like a decade
Yeah.
until
After
like
being
about
summoned
5 years
to
ago.
Vuros, the
So she
threads
doesn't know video
intertwining beyond
games.
space
She knows some
and
video
time
games.
are beginning to weave
You
a
know,
new
I just
tale.
don't know Metron. Samus Aran coming. I can't believe aliens speak French.
chosen.
Oh, this is also Metron? It's Red Metron. Who the hell is this? That's a dope-ass suit.
That one's thick too. I think that one's a girl too.
I think that might just be Samus again. That's shiny
We
Metron.
hope you're looking forward to exploring with Samus's new psychic
Samus
abilities.
is my favorite Pokemon.
Seamus.
Okay,
Seamus is my
let's move on
favorite
to some more
Pokemon.
headlines.
Get it right.
You're right.
Stop mispronouncing it.
Ready to stir
Oh,
up
look.
some mystery.
Oh, witchy game. You're right. And they even have a phone.
Once upon a time, there was a drowned
Perniculatum.
coffee shop
What?
that transformed into a magical potion cafe. As
Oh!
the newest
Cursed
potionista,
cafe.
Potionista.
of the cursed cafe, you'll craft
like this.
concoctions
Ooh.
for Disney villains.
Okay, wait, I played
and
this.
I
get
must
to know
have.
them.
Oh
this-
my god, look at the curves on Maleficent.
This also looks like it could be a game that I play on my phone on that work.
Then serve
True.
them to your villainous
Come-
visitors,
I'm sorry, did you
including
see the name of that?
elixirs.
No.
Then serve them to your
Combusty.
villainous visitors, including Ursula and Gaston. With
Combust.
help from Yzma,
Yo,
you can
Yzma!
upgrade your ingredients to
Yzma
produce
representation is
some
wild in
wicked
2025.
creations.
Well, she is a villain.
The potions ingredients to produce
Cool guy Chai.
Not me forget. It's just forget me not
wildly
backwards.
wicked creations. The potions you make can influence each customer's storyline.
Dude, I love that Gaston is just chilling in the back, spread eagle.
Who knows what mischief might happen? Disney
Excellent.
Villains Cursed
I love
Cafe.
there's a
That's
bathtub
kinda
there
cool.
for
Nintendo
Ursula.
Switch later
In the
today.
background, I
That's
don't know if
great.
you noticed that.
No, I didn't notice that, but that's great.
Summon a spellbinding
Oh, look,
adventure.
Another
Yeah,
witchy
another witchy
game.
game. And it's pixel art.
Welcome to
Oh,
Witchbrook
no.
College.
This
where
looks cute.
students strive
This
to
might be
master
for
the
me.
It looks like
magical
fully
arts.
figured
During
characters
class,
from.
use magic circles to perform rituals. Fly on brooms.
Why am I blanking on the
And
name?
learn advanced
Stardew.
techniques to go from witch in
Oh,
training
I didn't
to
realize that's what you were
skilled
going
spellcaster.
Perseus.
There's also
All right,
plenty to
I'm
do
buying it.
outside of class.
That was easy.
You
Hang
can
out with
ride a
friends at their
Vespa
homes.
and talk to Hannah,
Okay, but
Take
I
on
love her
various
bedroom. What
jobs
the
to
fuck?
help pay for
barking
tuition.
up the art tree.
I love all
Or
the
use the
whimsical,
spells
like.
you've learned
Yeah.
to craft and sell original items.
Henry
Plus,
Pot of
up to
Butter.
4 players
I
can
love
make
that name.
magic
multiplayer?
together.
Whoa, you can all ride brooms. That's sick.
Explore this
Looks like there's
whimsical world
customization
on
for your
the
character
road to
too, like
graduation
hella
and
customization.
Well, I would
beyond.
hope so.
Right. Look,
Are
there's
you
so much
ready for a
community.
spellbinding
We
journey?
could play this with friends.
We could. Jasper.
It's my
Millie,
favorite
me.
kind of
Enrollment
game.
begins when
Witchbrook.
Witchbrook flies onto Nintendo
Alright.
Switch
By
this holiday.
Chucklefish
Can I
Studios.
pre-order it now? I think my Switch is dead in my work bag.
Action, adventure, and arcade
Ooh,
games
I like all
await.
those things.
Set off on a fantastical mission to eliminate a mysterious deity.
The
In
Eternal
this
Life of
hand-drawn platforming adventure,
Oh,
you'll explore
it's a
the
2D
shores
animated
of
game.
Archipelago,
Oh.
where
It
night
looks like kind of like Cuphead.
It does look like
upgrade your
Cuphead.
trusty
But
cane
with an old man.
magic
I
Yeah.
love him.
Then use its
Look at
love
his
him.
stride. He's
I
alpha.
Love him.
Can you uncover the secrets the archipelago
Dude, this is
holds?
awesome. I
Find out
love
when
how
the
this is
Eternal
animated.
Life of Goldman launches
I
on
love
Nintendo
him.
Switch this holiday.
Smoke Whammon.
Celebrate the 40th
love him.
anniversary
It was
of
great.
Gradius with a collection of
Yeah, the animation,
arcade
dude,
shoot-'em-up
Aura, that
games
looks
from
great.
across the
Gradius,
series.
wow.
Titles include
Gradius Origins.
I have no idea what that
Salamander.
man's name is, but I would
He's,
dash with
yeah,
him.
he's pretty great.
Gradius
Life Force
2,
6, Gradius, Gopher.
Gradius 3,
Gotta have Gradius
and
3.
Salamander 2.
Jesus
Some
Christ, that
titles come
logo's
with
insane.
multiple versions, including ones from
No,
different
the other one,
regions
the
and launch
Salamander
years.
one.
No, I didn't see it.
Plus, take the helm in a brand new entry,
Salamander 3. Cool. It's still in this aspect ratio?
Gradius
That's interesting.
Origins launches on the Nintendo Switch system August 7th. Pre-orders
Nice.
They had to
begin
keep
later
it
today
traditional.
True.
on Nintendo eShop. Battle
He has the-
to
oh, he does
the
have the
Rift of
DuckTales
the
pogo bounce.
Necrodancer. Press the corresponding
Oh,
buttons in each
Rift
lane
of the
to fight
Necrodancer.
monsters in rhythm-based combat.
That's just Friday
Keep the
Night Funkin'.
cadence going with epic boss
I
battles,
think this came out first,
minigames,
actually. Like the
remix
series?
stages,
Yeah, no,
and
BS.
global leaderboards. Plus, more musical mayhem awaits in the Celeste Music Pack paid
The monsters
DLC.
are
Is that Celeste from Celeste? That's Peppino from Pizza Tower.
Rift of the Necrodent.
What?
Launches on Nintendo Switch later today.
Later today.
Let's see what's in store.
Is that cute little thing from Hello Kitty?
Tamagotchi!
Oh.
Welcome to Tamagotchi Plaza,
Quite
a
the
brand new entry in the
reaction
Tamagotchi
from
Connection
you.
series. There are
Hey Quentin, I'm doing all right. How are you doing?
design glasses at
Can you
the
see this
eyewear
okay?
shop.
Oh my god!
Look, you can have star glasses.
Look, I can test
Solo,
their vision.
or
And you can brush your teeth.
I feel like
arranged
the
plates
child
at
would
the
love this.
The child would
Tea Shop.
really like this. If the child was
12
a bit
wonderful
older.
stores need your help.
You can draw manga,
Provide
dude.
good customer service to get high ratings
And make
upgrade
plaid.
your shop. In doing so, you'll get to
And
meet
talk
more
to sharks.
Tamagotchi, making the town
I'm
livelier
sorry, did
than
this guy just say
before.
Tamagotchi?
With over 100 new and classic Tamagotchi, business is sure to be booming.
The one with the green
Get
hair.
ready to set up shop when Tamagotchi Plaza launches on Nintendo Switch.
Bothers me that he
June
pronounces it
27th.
that way. Tamagotchi. I guess that is how you pronounce it, though.
Yeah, it's just us
Tamagotchi.
Americans.
Yeah.
are the ones who mess it up.
Tamagotchi. You're right. This is the first footage of this I'm actually seeing, because I did not watch the Pokemon Direct.
Oh, I didn't either. There was a Pokemon Direct?
There was a Pokemon Direct, like,
When?
2 weeks ago? I
What?
think. Yeah.
Welcome to Pokemon Legends ZA.
I can't believe we're going back to Lumio City?
This will be the first time I've ever been here.
Oh, I love the game this is from.
The setting is this metropolis.
It's
that also
France.
appeared in the
It's
Pokemon
just weird to have a
apps and
Legends
Pokemon
game that
Live
isn't
games.
set in the past.
Yeah.
City.
Yeah,
That
Lumio
feels
City.
weird.
Tamaguchi. Thank you for the 2 heroes.
Pokemon to coexist. A
Oh,
company named Quasartico Inc. is carrying out
and it looks
urban
so much
development
better than Legends Arceus
Here,
did.
we'll get a glimpse
It
into the
does.
lives of the
I mean, like,
Pokemon and
the
people of
ground
Lumio
still
City.
looks,
It's
and
the-
the water still
yeah.
looks the same, so, like, that's kind of disappointing. But, like, I mean,
It feels more
it's gonna
alive.
be on the
All over
Switch, and it
town
can't
are
tank
wild
the Switch
Yeah.
performance-wise. So.
True, you're right.
These areas are special environments where wild Pokemon can live comfortably, even within the city.
Look at the trees. God damn it. This stupid ass conversation again. Oh, dude, I loved Legends. I loved Arceus so much. I see this and I'm just remembering what that like week of my life was like.
There are Pokemon that live
you play all of
outside
Arceus?
wild zones
Yeah,
too.
Nathan and I grinded for a week together
Some of them
to
can
make
even
videos
be
on it, and then
found
nobody watched our
on
video.
rooftops.
But we had fun. We had a ton of
Oh,
fun.
yeah, that's right. That's what it was. This game.
Yeah.
I still haven't finished it.
It's real. I really like it.
There are so many games that I just.
The city's aura
There are so many games, babe.
Highly
And Switch
skilled
has them.
trainers are invited to participate in the tournament.
Nintendo Switch has games. What the hell is all this?
Royale.
ZA
Trainers
Royale
await in battle
with
zone.
cheese?
Is it Fortnite in Pokemon game?
Where we dropping boys?
If you're
It
smart,
is.
Oh.
they'll challenge you to
Oh my god, is it actually?
You like walk up to people and battle them?
strike first before
Look
being
at
struck.
that.
Bro, what? It actually kind of is, though.
During
Fortnite,
battle,
we
What?
got to get down. Get down, Pokemon.
moment is key.
You can, like, ninja strike people? That's messed up, dude. Oh, Mega Evolution, my beloved.
Power up even more.
I'm so glad you're back. How I've missed you.
You'll start
Mega
at rank
Evolution?
6
Yeah,
and
this is the
work
game that
your
Mega
way up
Evolution
to
came from.
rank
So you know how,
8.
like,
Like, I don't know what Mega Evolution is.
so you know how, like, Gen 8 has Gigantamax?
Said to have a wish
So that was... They started doing, like, gameplay gimmicks with the game that this is from, and they started with Mega Evolution, where it's just, like, you have a stone, and your Pokemon has a stone, and then you just, like, make them bigger,
Lumio City.
and they
It
have
seems
better
there are
stats.
even more secrets waiting
Oh!
to be uncovered. What
It's
will
like
you find
Gigantamax, but
on
not
your
as
adventure?
large.
Yes. And they
Pokemon
typically
Legends
look different. They're not
ZA
just big.
launches on
Well, I
Nintendo
mean-
Switch
Gigantamax
later
looks
this
Yeah.
different too. Okay.
Gengar like looked like a demon coming from
Yeah.
the ground.
But so it was kind of like that, but just regular size.
Gengar went from the boy to the devil.
It seems there are even
To the
more
demon.
secrets to uncover. Please be on the lookout for more information. in
This
the
looks fun. I mean, I like the first one. Oh, I love the
Please take
first
a
one.
look at this.
So I'm sure I will like this one as well. I know this was a weird so back moment for Pokemon
Hello.
fans. Oh, hell.
The
Are you
game you're about
WarioWare?
to see, Boop, doesn't have a big, epic story,
Are you WarioWare?
but what it does have is lots of funny little
Didn't
rhythm
they
games.
recently announce that all WarioWare games
You
coming?
wanna see? Boop,
Did that? I can't remember.
Or was
Oh,
it a-
maybe this is Rhythm Heaven.
No.
Just press the button to jump through the ring.
They already released that.
What the
one.
hell is this?
I don't know.
He got that stride though.
Oink.
Burger.
It sounds easy,
Pickle. What the hell was that French
but
girl
the
saying?
timing is super tricky.
Cucumber.
Maybe you
What?
could try
That
Are you
video,
talking
that video you
about?
showed me where like she's trying to say the words in English and she can't get the shit through the ring.
Potato?
But so is this Rhythm Heaven?
Cucumber.
Cucumber. Tomato.
In this game, you might do almost anything.
I've never played a Rhythm Heaven game,
When
but
she looked it up, how English speakers say it. Tomato.
With practice, you might even be able to play.
but I'm assuming they are fun because people do like them a lot. It just has such heavy WarioWare vibes.
It does.
Dunk.
Get into the rhythm
Dunk.
with a brand new entry in the Rhythm Heaven series,
How long has it been since
Rhythm Heaven.
the last
Blue.
Rhythm Heaven game? It was on the DS, wasn't it? I think. Damn. Sunku.
That was Rhythm Heaven Groove, a brand new entry in the
3?
Rhythm Heaven series.
Oh, 3DS.
It
Okay.
includes
Oh, it's from the
lots of
same
music
developer. Well, that
produced
makes
by
sense.
Renowned Japanese musician Tsunku. What kinds of rhythms do you
Dunk.
think you'll hear?
Dunk.
We hope you're looking forward to it.
That guy has biceps. Holy.
Next,
We all
we
have
have news
biceps.
about the use of digital games.
You're
in
not
our
wrong.
system.
I
He
know.
just he just has very visible ones, is what I mean.
With game cards, you can put a game featuring Mario in this Nintendo Switch system.
Correct. I've
and
done
the
that.
Legend of Zelda game in this one. Freely inserting the games you have on hand into any system you want.
Uh-huh.
But what if digital games could be as flexible and convenient as game cards?
Oh.
Explain.
Here's what we came up with. Introducing the virtual game card. In the future, virtual game cards
Explain.
will be used for digital
You're
games.
trying. Shush. Patience.
When purchasing the digital version of a game, it will be loaded onto your system as a virtual game card, allowing you to play that title. Your digital games will be lined up as virtual game cards on a dedicated management screen. Here, you can load and eject your virtual game cards and manage which games you can play on your system.
Okay.
If you have two Nintendo Switch systems, you can eject a virtual game card from one and load it onto the second. Now you can play this game on the second system
makes sharing
wherever
digital
and
games
whenever you want,
Between like families,
just as
much
if you
easier.
had inserted a physical game card.
Oh.
With virtual game cards, you can freely load and arrange which games you play on up to two systems. Local communication with
Oh,
your second system
okay.
is required, but only the first time. You can
Lending
also
to-
download
okay.
virtual
Nintendo
game
account
cards to your
users.
Nintendo account
Oh,
and
okay.
virtual users.
This makes more
Connect to
sense.
your family group member system via local wireless when you want to lend a game. Choose the title you're lending.
That's not.
Okay, so this makes more sense because before I was like, okay, but you can still do that anyway, right? Like you can just download a game on your same account because it's
They
still
can now
tied to
play
your
on their
Nintendo
own
account.
system.
This makes more like if you can share it between
One game
family
at a
members,
time to
that
a
makes more
particular
sense.
person. Games can be lent out for 2 weeks, after which they will automatically return to you.
Nintendo.
Making digital
Save
games
data will not
even
be- okay, so-
easier to use.
So you just lend it out again
Virtual
if they
game
needed
card.
it longer than 14 days.
Okay. I just don't understand the time limit. You know?
Yeah, I don't get that
There's
one either.
really not a point to it. If,
I guess so that to make sure like nobody keeps the game. And
Oh,
nobody
okay.
gets it back,
That's fair.
Kind of situation.
it doesn't work on Switch 2. It makes sense that it wouldn't, I guess, because backwards compatibility, I would assume.
Let's take a look at more Nintendo Switch.
I mean,
games.
yeah, it is easier than sharing
So
your
it's-
account with a friend, but it's still like they have these weird ass limitations that are just silly. Oh, that game.
I want to play that game so bad. High on Life.
Rick and Morty game.
I want to play that so bad.
It's a shame that that gun beat his wife. What is this? This looks cool.
The way that those people are like zooming on the boards reminds me of Haven.
Yes, yeah. The Wandering
is
Village.
cool.
Whoa! That is
That's
cool. King of Meat.
Is this multiplayer, like online?
Oh. It looks like it. Lose Lagoon.
That works pretty well.
Oof. But that sure doesn't. Look at that frame rate. That's like our stream earlier.
Yep.
It's probably better than our stream.
Yep.
Uncover history once more.
I have not seen the new Tales Tube. I'll watch the new Tales Tube after we're done watching the
Saga
direct.
Frontier 2 is venturing on to Nintendo Switch.
Swanky loves these
Meet
games,
Gustav,
I
the
think.
Royal Heir, and Will the Explorer.
And I've been
Two heroes
interested in them
whose
for a little
fates and
bit, but
legacies will intertwine
not on my
across
priority
generations in this
Mother.
epic RPG.
Kelvin.
Kelvin.
The temperature.
The temperature, that's what I was thinking too.
Experience the original story, along with brand new events that expand the
I feel like they
vibrant world of
re-release these
Sonic.
games every year.
Plus, team up with more characters in
Same
battle
joke with Lana. The Lagoon.
and transfer stats to allies through the parameter inheritance system.
Hey, it's
After
just like
finishing the main
Nintendo
story,
Switch
you can test
virtual
your
game
metal
cards.
might against even more powerful bosses. What histories will you uncover through the ages?
Flip.
Saga Frontier 2 Remastered
It's a Square Enix
launches
game.
on Nintendo Switch
Because of course
later today.
I love that they've dedicated their time to just like remastering old RPGs in like the 2D, 3D format.
Embark on peaceful journeys
Monument
across
Valley,
this
Monument Valley.
series of beautiful puzzle
Us
games.
2 games.
Wander through
This looks like
isometric
a
worlds
mobile game.
filled with
It
stunning
does.
landscapes to manipulate. Optical illusions
I would actually
to
play this at work,
discover,
so chat, let me
and
know if it is actually on
mystifying
mobile.
secrets to unfold. In Monument Valley, lead the silent Princess Ida in her quest for forgiveness.
This was a
while
mobile game.
outsmarting magnetic
All
crow
right.
people.
Nice.
A different journey awaits
This
in
is a work
Monument
game.
Valley
This is a
2.
work game.
Guide Ro in her adventure through motherhood as she and her child unlock the secrets of the sacred geometry.
This is dope.
Both games contain all their additional chapters.
I love
add-ons,
weird
and
puzzle.
DLC.
Not that I play them, but like
The
I just
first
love
two
looking at
Monument Valley
weird
games
puzzle games
launch
like
on
that.
Nintendo
It's super
Switch
cool.
April
Work
15th.
game.
Yes.
Pre-orders begin later today. on
Remastering games is
Nintendo
cheaper than
Wii.
developing a new. I mean, it has to be because you don't have to go through the trouble of like designing a game. You already have it designed. You just have to remake it. You know.
Setting sail on
Oh,
Nintendo
Monument Valley
Switch
3.
this summer.
Oh, new work game.
Oh, 3 work
And then an additional
games.
work game. Is this golf? It's golf.
Oh, that's boring.
It's anime golf. Nice shot.
Brand new entry in the
Oh,
If it
everybody's
doesn't
golf.
say
series is
nice
driving
shot, I
onto
don't want to
Nintendo
play
Switch.
it.
You know you're a good.
Aim,
Oh, she's got moves.
time your button
You know you're a
press
good
just
golf game when you
right,
have a nice
and
shot in
take
it.
your shot.
This is another Sony IP. It does look like a Sony IP actually. Now that you mention it.
Backspins, side spins,
Yeah, those sheep look very
and
Sony.
other special shots.
The sheep? Did you say?
Did you not see the sheep?
No, I
in
didn't
the
see the
background?
sheep.
Single-player
They
challenge
were
mode.
blocky as hell.
Compete in tournaments and face off against a range of
Look at that
rivals to
PS1
become
ass
the
button.
ultimate golfer.
Like, yeah,
In wacky golf,
exactly.
your
Whoa,
shots could get
those are
thrown
Mario
holes,
question marks.
Oh, not the
obstacles
tornado.
might fall.
The mysterious
It's
monolith
golf
falls
that's
before
not
you.
quite par for the course. Up to 4
There's a
golfers
lot
can
of
hit the
Sony
fairway
properties
together
coming to
locally or
Swanch.
with online play.
Cool, you can play golf with your dad.
So just relax and get ready to tee off.
You could have already done that.
Everybody's golf hot shots.
What?
lands on
No,
Nintendo Switch this
impossible.
He doesn't like real golf.
Captain
He only
America.
Unite
Anime
some of the
Anime
golf.
golf.
greatest
Whoa,
superheroes
this
in
looks
the
like an
fight
80s
against
cartoon. That's so
evil.
cool.
Pair up 2 heroes from the roster of 15.
No
including the likes of the
way. Is this a
spectacular
new
Spider-Man
beat 'em up?
and the ferocious Wolverine to take
They don't
on
make
the
enough beat 'em
challenge.
ups in my opinion.
From close quarters combatants
That's so
to
cool.
Yeah, I
aerial
mean.
aces, You can mix and match a variety of
Amine.
heroes for an amazing array of
Marvel and
possibilities.
Dotemu hired Tilo. No way, really? That's
Your
sick.
team of 2 at any time. Take advantage of your team's strengths to overwhelm your
Then that
foes.
means the music is
Plus,
gonna be
up to 4 players can
gas,
assemble for local or
as the
online
kids say.
co-op play.
A bop.
a bop.
The
Even.
battle for the fate of the Marvel Universe begins when Marvel Cosmic Invasion
That's cool.
launches on the Nintendo Switch system.
Streets of
this
Rage Marvel,
holiday.
just pretty much.
That was Marvel.
That was
Cosmic
cool, huh?
Invasion, where you'll battle as a tag team.
I love that they do that every direct.
Next is our last game announcement.
Ah, so this
Last
is
game?
this is the big one apparently.
Big finale. I don't know.
Tomodachi Life.
Oh, I forgot about that. Look at that. It was still a surprise.
It was still a surprise. Wow, they've started it with just ripping ass.
It literally, those bushes were Animal Crossing ass bushes. I thought for a hot sec we were getting a new Animal Crossing.
Oh, get it, Grandpa. Oh yes.
So what's so great about Tomodachi?
So Tomodachi Life, it started out as a 3DS game, right, guys? It was just, I think it's one of those games that's like really fun when you're a little younger, just because like you can make basically everybody you know like into a me, and have them like live in your apartment building, and then like they go on adventures. It's like, oh,
Can I put them in pools and delete the ladder like
no,
I can in The
not in The
Sims?
Sims. No, not. Oh Jesus Christ!
You mean not in Tomodachi? Oh my god.
You just have them like interacting and doing silly things like, oh, hello, today I went and saw The Lion King 3
And that
with
was Tomodachi Life, living the dream.
my dad.
The first new entry in the
And then you
series.
go see them do it, and you're like, ah, isn't that funny?
In the trailer,
You
we
can
saw
like
new
make a Taylor
characters
Swift
living on an
me
island
and be
out
like,
of
ah,
sight.
ha ha ha, wouldn't it be funny
What
if
kinds of interactions do you
my
think
brother
they'll
married
have?
Taylor Swift?
We
They're
hope
going to
you're
the
looking
concert
forward to it.
together and performing. Wow.
Thank you for watching today's Nintendo Direct so
So
far.
okay, so it's not like a remake; it's a new one. People have been wanting a Tomodachi Life on
Our
Switch
final announcement
since
is
Switch came out.
something
Hey, I mean,
different
I'd
that's
play
not a
it.
game. Here's Mr. Miyamoto
For no chat
to
stream
introduce it.
come true. Yeah, you can make Taylor Swift sing too and make it.
Oh.
Whoa! Hi Miyamoto.
Thank you for watching today's
Aren't you
Nintendo
Zelda
Direct.
guy?
Since 2011,
He is
Nintendo
Zelda guy.
Direct has delivered Nintendo news
He made Zelda.
directly to you.
He also made Mario.
And now, these presentations have grown into an event that many people watch.
Correct. God, you look so old now.
Thank you all very much. We'll continue to broadcast
Yeah,
Nintendo
Miyamoto
Direct
jump
presentations.
scare. Hello, Plush
We're
King.
also launching a new channel based on the concept of delivering information to you directly.
A new channel?
This is a smart
Oh.
device app called Nintendo Today,
Sonic ass run.
which functions like a daily calendar. In the app, you can view different
That's
Nintendo
why
events,
Nathan was
and
doing
we'll
that.
also be delivering
Or
all
mate,
sorts of
was he?
content about
I don't
Nintendo
know.
games and characters every day.
But it reminds me a lot of that.
After the Nintendo
Pascal's
Direct for
Pearls of
Nintendo
Wisdom.
Switch 2 on April 2nd,
See that?
news about Nintendo Switch
I'm
2
excited
will
about
be delivered to you
the
daily
Direct on 4
and
too.
directly
We should stream
Yeah.
that
to
one live.
Nintendo Today
Yeah.
as well.
Because I'll be off.
Very nice. He
Nintendo
turned
Today will be
73.
available to
Good
download on
God,
Oh,
dude.
look!
Later today.
It's a bell!
It sure is.
Anyone with a Nintendo account can use the app, so please try it out.
I wish that was her name.
I may actually download that.
Nintendo
That's all I
Today.
have to share. I hope
Thanks,
you enjoy
Miyamoto-san.
using Nintendo Today.
Hey, what's the news on Mario Movie 2, huh? Where's Chris-san?
No, Zelda.
Oh, you're right. Zelda
Today's
Movie 1.
Nintendo Direct.
First, we have to get through the hell that is the Minecraft movie, though.
Oh, true. God, I don't want to watch that. I don't know that I want to watch a Minecraft movie. I love that that's what they're calling it too. It's not the Minecraft movie, it's a Minecraft movie.
That's so that they can have multiple Minecraft
Correct.
movies.
There's no the one. Forget about that. Where's Silk Song? Sorry guys, no Deltarune, no Hollow Knight. Only tears. That was fine.
Yeah.
Bunch of cool stuff. I mean, that's the thing. People always expect big things from
So
Nintendo
wait.
Directs, but
Did the last Pokemon Direct, did they announce what the new game's going to be? Like the new main line?
I don't
game?
think they did, no. I think I would have heard about it by now, but
That's fair.
yeah. I think there are talks, or maybe they did mention that like they're working on Gen 10, I think. but I can't remember. It's not in fact today. Tomorrow for sure, though. No, but I think they like announced another season. Remember that concierge show on Netflix? I think they're doing like another one of those.
Oh, are they? We thought. Did we watch that?
We watched like the first few episodes, I think, of it, right?
I thought we watched all of it. I'm pretty sure I watched all of it.
I don't remember watching
I
all of it.
remember watching all of it and thinking it was adorable.
And I forget. There were like two other things. I know that they did like something for the card game. There's like a new video game based on the card game, I think.
Gross. Why?
People like the card game, I guess.
They can like the card game in physical condition, unless, I mean, I guess Scalpers kind of ruined that for people.
It is
since
kind of
they
hard, yeah.
Can't buy cards. So
Yeah.
here, have fake card that you can't keep forever.
Only in digital form.
All right. Well, that was very Cash Bunny of them.
Yeah. That was okay. Like, again, a lot of people, I think, expect big things out of every single Nintendo Direct, which is just, it's unrealistic.
That's on Wednesday.
Yes. It's Wednesday, my dudes.
Big things coming on Wednesday.
That's true.
I think it's a Wednesday. Unsure.
What, today?
No, the second.
Oh, the second. I think you may be right. It is. It is on a Wednesday. So
All right.
it'll be big things.
I'm going to bed.
Alrighty. That sounds good.
I love you.
I love you too. Mwah.
I wasn't saying that to you, chat.
Just to be clear, let's make this perfectly evident. All right, so let's watch the Tails Tube, everybody, and let's dissect what the hell happens in Tails Tube. Clickbait thumbnail. It is a pretty clickbaity thumbnail. I have seen the thumbnail, which I thought was pretty funny. I think I would have known if I hadn't seen on the Sonic Wiki that it was Tori. I would have known right away, like, oh my god, no way, Tori? That's crazy. Hi, Tails. What's up, Tails? Am I too loud? I am probably way too loud now that the mic is like right next to my mouth. So I'm going to bring myself down a whole bunch. Back to where I was, probably. How about now? Is that good? I hope that's good. Cool. Have I checked out the official Sonic timeline? Yes, I recorded my video on that yesterday. It should be coming out on Saturday, hopefully. It is... You guys are going to have to grab a thing of popcorn again, because I just can't for the life of me make a short video, I guess. I just can't do that to save my own life. But yeah, it's like an hour long, like just talking about it and like ranting and whatever. So...
Hello everyone, and welcome to our very first episode of Tails Tube on the Road. Today I'm
on the
coming
road.
to you live on
Whoa, no, Tails, before you start talking. I spy with my little eye. Oh, I see it. Professor Victoria Historian. But in the background I see something statue, and it looks like an echidna. And you have the moon medals and the sun medals from Unleashed. Wait, and this music. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. That's Spagonia, right?
live on location from inside the prestigious Spagonia University.
Aha!
So many brilliant scholars have walked these hallowed halls.
But of course.
Including today's very
The
special
Miles
guest,
Electric... The Miles Electric Mega, dude. I love that. There's a new version of it now. I love that his background is Starfall Islands.
Everyone, please welcome a personal intellectual hero of mine, Professor
Oh?
Victoria.
Excuse
Orbot.
Who are you?
I should be asking you the same question.
No, you shouldn't.
I also would like to
This
know.
is my office.
Oh, a fellow
Oh.
professor. How do you do?
I'm so
Orbot,
sorry
get
about
outta
this.
here.
He is
Okay, this is such a small thing, and I know who gives a shit. But it really bothers me when they have Orbot on, and then they just don't make his voice sound robotic. Because it's so out of place for me. It's so weird that she's in something now.
not another professor. He's just one of Eggman's lackeys.
How unfortunate. Can you make him leave?
Not usually.
It's so good to have a meeting of the minds with my fellow intellectuals. Conversations around the lair can be so tiresome.
Let's just continue on. Maybe he'll get bored and leave.
Don't count on it.
As I was saying, everyone, please welcome genius archaeologist and historian.
Genius archaeologist. I mean, granted, we knew this because of the previous Tales tube, which had the little archaeologist around the world book in Tails' house. So we knew she was an archaeologist. Ah, bro, she's gotta be a robot. I mean, look at her fit, dude. I think it's so weird that women are real. Can you imagine? This entire time. I can't believe it myself. Her outfit kind of looks like Maria's. I was thinking it looks more like Eggman's, but you're right. It does look like Maria's a lot. It's crazy. She's gotta be a Robotnik, dude. There's no way she's not a Robotnik.
Professor Victoria.
Oh, you're too kind, Miles. And please, call me Tori. But honestly,
Miles.
it's my pleasure to be on your show. I'm a bit of a fan of yours as well.
Oh?
This is the greatest day of my life.
Oh, Tails. Oh, Tails.
Pretty average for me.
Perhaps you'd like to
The women leaving my body is I don't think they exist.
continue our earlier conversation about
That is the same
ancient
color as Maria.
civilizations.
Yes, of course. Let's begin at the dawn of recorded history with the first great civilization.
The first. What did you just call them? What did you just call the ancients, dude? You think she was hidden because she's Miss Tori? What do you mean? Oh, Miss Tori. Oh, good door. Well, see, because that's the thing. Considering that she has a doctorate, I'm assuming, but like she would be Miss Tori, but at the same time, like I wouldn't think of it like that because she's a professor. So immediately my mind goes to Professor Tori, but she is, assuming she's not married, she would be Miss Tori, and what a Miss Tori she has been until now. No way, dude. Okay, so for anybody wondering why I'm freaking out at her saying the first great civilization, there is a group of characters that are revealed in Sonic Battle all the way back in 2004 that were called the fourth great civilization. They are the ones who are thought to be the ones that created the Gazoids, or at least Emerald specifically. And then Sonic Chronicles: The Dark Brotherhood, a DS RPG released in 2008 for the Nintendo DS console of gaming's. Sorry. Soft reveal, even though it's not canon anymore, but it kind of revealed that the fourth great civilization was the Nocturne clan, which was another group of echidnas that were sort of rivals of the Knuckles clan, which is the tribe that Knuckles is from, unsurprisingly. And they were the ones who created the Gazoids. In that game, there were multiple Gazoids, not just Emerald. But the fourth great civilization thing is still canon because of Battle. Shadow Generations it doesn't recontextualize it, but it reinforces that it is canon because it's part of Gerald's journal.
We know almost nothing of these ancient beings. I would
Tails
give
does.
anything to know who they were and what their technology could do.
This is so interesting. So she knew they existed, but knows nothing about them. You know who does, though? Your cousin. Your cousin. Wouldn't it be fucking wild if this was Eggman's sister? There's no way. There's no way this is Eggman's sister. No way it is.
Well, you're in luck, because I was part of an adventure
Oh, those guys. Turns out they were a bunch of watery aliens from another world. They came to Earth to escape Space Boogeyman and preserve their souls inside a digital dimension. But a couple of them stuck around and eventually turned into these little water babies. Aren't they so cute?
He has never been this annoying before. This is a kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? This is the kind of tomfoolery. This is the kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Cubot would do this shit. Not him. Not Orbot. Orbot wouldn't do this shit.
What the?
Technically, he's got the basic facts right. Not the way I would have explained it, but...
Right.
This could revolutionize our understanding of life on Earth and in the cosmos.
So, just because, I don't know if I've talked about this before. But just for the sake of posterity, one of the things, and this is kind of annoying that this is released, because I was going to talk about this. I was going to talk about a theory I had about Professor Tori, god damn it. I have a theory as to, you know how in Frontiers, there was that one setting that we didn't know about, but that had all the gun trucks and the gun helicopters and all the whatever. If cyberspace collects your data of your memory, of all this stuff, and they're sort of, Tori was teased pre-Frontiers, meaning that she's a character who was at least designed pre-Frontiers, and we're only just now, almost 3 years after Frontiers released, finally learning who she is, finally getting to hear her voice, see her in action. I have a sneaking suspicion that she is the reason that part of cyberspace exists. Do I think cyberspace analyzed Shadow's memories? Yes, and that is a part of part 2 of my white space theory. But that is neither here nor there. Right now, what I'm talking about is that... Sorry, that sounded really rude. I didn't mean it like that. No, but yes, I do think that happened. I think... Because we know that she's a gun agent. We know that, or she's at least affiliated with gun, right? And so I think that I think that she was there at some point. Because she's a historian, right? She's an archaeologist. I think at some point she did look into the Starfall Islands, went into cyberspace herself, and I forget what it's called. I know that it has a name on the wiki. I discovered this somewhat recently. I just don't remember what it's called. This is who voices... Oh, you guys can't see this. Sorry. I'm looking that up right now. Cyberspace. Not that cyberspace. This other one. What is it called? Eternal Highway. So I believe that Eternal Highway is based off of Tori's memories. And she's bullshitting us right now. She knows more. And here's something else too, right? If she went into cyberspace, how did she get out? Fantastic question. I believe... Hold the phone. I'm glad you asked. I don't have a concrete answer for this. But... when Eggman inserted his artificial intelligence into the ancient cyberspace portal, this character did not exist. Correct? Can we agree on that, yes or no? And yet, when he arrives at Eternal Highway, Sage takes form to protect Dr. Eggman. Isn't this interesting? Fucking cinnamon swirl ass head. Who do you remind me of? Sage? Huh. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Maybe if you grew out your hair a little more. You know, cyberspace does take on the form of memories, does it not? You think Eggman knew who Tori was? Okay, actually, no, the resemblance is a bit less canny than I thought it was. But I think that Sage got her physical form based off of someone's memories from cyberspace. And I would not be surprised if we're to believe that Professor Victoria is a Robotnik, which, I mean, come on, look at the fit. I can totally... And we just got the revelation that Maria had a baby sister. Could Sage be what Victoria looked like when she was a baby? That is what I would like to know. I don't know. It's a lot of you're right. It's a lot of coincidences. I agree. But I don't think it couldn't happen.
Oh, please tell me you documented everything thoroughly.
Well, see, I was stuck in a digitized state, and we kinda
Couldn't.
lost access to the ancient databases.
Oh, so the basis for your claims?
Just trust him, bro.
I don't like you said that.
Let's move on, shall we?
You're ruining this for me.
Tens of thousands of years later, the second great
To coincide with the timeline. I see. True dat. Yeah.
civilization arose. They were known as the Gaians, and they constructed
The Gaians?
massive
Oh, I didn't
temples
know that.
all around the globe.
Okay,
And
I didn't know
yet,
that.
The cultures that live around
Were they
them
the
today
second
remember
great
precious
civilization?
little about them. To think such a vast empire could be lost to the sands of time.
And to the core of the planet.
Does he have a mute button?
Again.
I wish he
he's
did.
technically right.
Indeed. Sonic and this little puppy guy used them to combine into a
Why
giant
does he
stone
have a
beast
drawing of?
and
Why
defeat
did he
a
make a
big
drawing of
squid
them?
monster with 100 eyeballs.
They did, and then they all...
How do any of you... Okay, hold on. Tails wasn't even there. How does anybody know... How does anybody except for Sonic and Chip and But even Eggman, he was, like, tossed away. How does anybody know this shit? How does anybody know this shit? The only person who'd be able to say so is Sonic. Which, I mean, I guess, if we're to trust his accounts. But it's really a he said, she said thing.
sunk into the core of the earth. It was epic.
No, you don't know that. You didn't see it.
But they'll be back.
Oh?
In, like, 10,000 years, give or take.
Miles, I know you go on wondrous, memorable adventures and see fantastic
I mean, Orbot was there. I mean, he wasn't. That technically isn't Orbot. Oh, she did say second civilization. Okay.
things, but what you're claiming, and I'm being kind here, stretches credulity.
But it really
You can
happened.
say it stretches
So
credulity
please
if you
just
want.
Take a look at the screen. You'll...
Who, Miles? Who
It
captured
happened.
that footage,
You
Miles?
Please just take a look at the screen. You'll...
Well now, this has been very cute, but I am late for my lecture. We'll continue this another time.
No.
Take care, Miles.
Oh, Orbot, look what you've done.
Toodles, Professor.
Dory, please wait. I'm not affiliated with him.
Ahem. And what's the lesson we've learned today, Tails?
But Spagonia University needs better security.
Perhaps. I was thinking, don't hang up on Orbot when he calls you on New Year's Day.
That's what this is all about?
My brilliant revenge scheme is complete. Ha ha! I'm away!
Well, that was an episode for the history books. I better hit the road before this day gets any more embarrassing.
The Babylonians. The Babylonians were the third great civilization. Holy shit. And the fourth great civilization would have been the Echidnas. Whoa. The Echidnas made the Gazoid. I mean, they must have, right? Because who else? I mean, if Chronicles is... Here's the thing, too, and just as a sneak preview of the video. With Chronicles not being canon anymore, and we know that those Echidnas made the Gazoids, I mean, and we know that the fourth great civilization, per Gerald's research, They were the ones that made the Gizoid. That really only leaves the Knuckles clan, unless there was another, like, unless they want to really keep Chronicles' backstory and just, like, alter it a little bit and say, like, there was another Echidna tribe that made the Gizoids. Because there was, even the Japanese website says that there was more than one. It doesn't say that it was just Emerald. It repeatedly says Gizoids, and they were, you know. Oh. Are the Black Arms part of something civilization? Probably not, because they were only on Earth briefly. They were only on Earth 2,000 years ago. So if anything, they would probably be well, no, but I mean, humans were already on Earth. If they had been here sooner, they probably would have been the 5th great civilization, if I had to guess. But I don't think they count as a great civilization. The first great visitors, yeah, or something like that. Yeah. So funny how the Unleashed love comes up when Recomp is unleashed. I think that that's a humongous coincidence, personally, because they were clearly already, like, not gassing up, but they were teasing Tori already. I think it was just a humongous coincidence, but it is very appropriate.
Next time, I think I'll head somewhere a little more low-key. I hope to see you when I get there. Until then, safe travels.
Oh, he did say that, didn't he? He did say that he was going to take Tails Tube on the road.
I think I just won my taxes.
Oh, yeah?
I just
Nobody
switched from
wins
TurboTax
them.
to H&R Block. It was
Shut up. I want to hear what Tails said at the end
Scheme
again.
is complete. Ha ha! I'm away.
Well, that was an episode for the history books. I better hit the road before this day gets any more embarrassing. Next time, I think I'll head somewhere a little more low-key.
Somewhere a little more low-key. Where? Oh, you know what? I wonder if he's going to be visiting somewhere else from Unleashed. You think thoughts on Sonic Movie 3? I liked it. I think it was great. I know I need to make a video on it discussing it because I haven't. Because that was like end of year, and so like I was working hard on the Sonic X Shadow Generations video. But yeah, I really have been behind on like talking about what I thought about the movie, didn't I? More remote. Maybe Angel Island, Babylon Garden would be honestly, wouldn't that be fucking wild? Actually, that would be great, the more I think about it. Like, if he did a Tails Tube at Babylon Garden and then ran into, like, the Babylon Rogues. Like, hey, Half Pint, as you know, the Babylonians were, like, aliens that were being chased by something, and then they crash-landed onto this planet, and they lost their engines, known as the Ark of the Cosmos. But you remember that, right? It was these little wristband thingies that we wore, and Amy wore around her neck. And then Amy stole one of them, and Jet chased. I'm just thinking about like what Wave would sound like saying. Yeah, it would line up with Crossworlds perfectly, dude. That'd be great. Oh, dude. Oh. Why did I have that reaction? I just realized that the thing next to the Sun and Moon medals is the ice key from Sonic Adventure, bro. Okay, what are these things to Tails' left? I know that they have to be something, right? I just don't recognize what they are. They have to be something, right? We still don't have any confirmation if Tori is Maria's sister. We don't, but I have a very heavy suspicion. I mean, like, come on. That was King Boom, his eye thingy? Oh. There's a tablet from Frontiers. Oh, the one behind him? Yeah. It will be perfect. Looks like rock salt. Dude, but I like... And if you don't believe me, Dr. Eggmang. Tomodachi Life, but it's all Sonic characters. What? Where did the one that I wanted to look at was? What sentence was that? Like, come on. I feel like there's art that better shows this off. Cause her side, the things on her jacket from the side, they look exactly like Eggman's thing. You know what I mean? And then like the neck, oh, Jesus Christ, what is with my words today? Of her jacket just looks so much like how Eggman wears them. Bro. Maria Robotnik. You're right. It does look just like Maria's outfit. What? Brother. She's like if you squished Maria and Rouge together. What the hey, dude? That's insane. Like her underblouse or her like underdress just reminds me of Maria's dress. And she has a hair accessory just like Maria. I mean, granted, hair accessories are whatever. I mean, that's just a thing that people wear, but I mean, yeah, the Maria's little sister would be 50 years old, but who's to say Tori isn't 50 years old, you know? Who knows? We don't know. Why does she have purple hair? That is a great question. I don't know.
Of recorded history with the first great civilization. We know almost nothing of these ancient beings. I would give anything to know who they were and what.
That's crazy, though. The fact that she... Because here's the thing. I think there's a lot of, like, subtext that we're missing. The fact that she knew who the ancients were, but didn't know anything about them. I don't buy that. Because there was so... Again, maybe all that stuff from cyberspace was just them hacking into the United Federation's mainframe, and so that's why they have that vehicle data or something. But I get the feeling there's more at play here. Couldn't she also just be another part of Eggman's family too, though? She could, yeah. She could be Maria's baby. She could be Maria's niece. You ever think of that? Maybe that's why she doesn't look like Maria. It's because it's Maria's sister's baby. You ever think about that? You wonder how Tori doesn't know about Dark Guy and stuff. I mean, I don't think... well, I don't know. I don't know how she wouldn't know about Dark Guy, actually. That's a good question. But she must have a last name, though, right? Like, outside her door? She must have a last name, though. That's what I'm saying. That's like, I don't think that she is over 50 years old, but she could be like in her 20s, which would perfectly line up if her mother was Maria's baby sister. You know what I mean? Victoria could be her last name, like how Robotnik is the last. Yeah, but nobody calls him Professor Robotnik. Everybody calls him Professor Gerald. Victoria, Maria, Ivo, Rhea, Gerald, Rhea. I mean, come on, dude. It's first grade. No, but Victoria and Maria both have their origins in, what is it, Latin? I think we looked this up last time, didn't we? Maria name origin. Not origin. Latin, Greek, and Hebrew. And I think Victoria was specifically like something else. Victoria. Yeah, Latin origin. Ivo. Is from medieval France. Is derived from the Germanic name for you. which is a tree. And then Gerald. Rule of the Spear. Germanic origins. So Ivo... Oh... So Ivo and Gerald are both Germanic in origin, and Victoria and Maria are both Latin in origin. Bilious archery. Fuck. That really got me. Holy shit. Would she even have the same last name? True. Good question. She might not have the last name if she's Maria's sister's daughter. Unless she, you know, it's entirely possible, because she might have taken her dad's last name. But she still has that Robotnik in her, you know? Dude, does that mean that Dr. Eggman Nega is her descendant too? Wouldn't that be... Well, no, because it would have to be Eggman's descendant, right? I don't know. Oh, Ivo, you're no Maria. She has students. She must. Oh yeah, what does she say there? I'm late for a lecture.
Stretches credulity.
But it really happened. If you'll please.
I don't know why she doesn't believe this. Like there's way weirder shit that has happened in the world. I don't know why you don't believe this.
Just take a look at the screen. You'll...
Well now, this has been very cute, but I am late for my lecture. We'll continue this another time. Take care, Miles.
Oh, Orbot, look what you've done!
Toodles.
Is there anybody else who calls him Miles? Like specifically Miles and not Tails. The Earth exploded, woman! That's true, you can't spell Victoria without Ivo. Oh, dude, bro. No, I mean, she's a professor. She's obviously not a student. She might be, like, she could still study just because you have a degree in something, and just because you have a profession doesn't mean you can't be a student. But I'm assuming that since this is her office, that she's the one giving the lecture. Don't professors share info? Amongst each other, yeah. So I don't know why Professor Pickle wouldn't have told her this. Also, dude, could you imagine hearing a new Professor Pickle voice that isn't Dan Green? That would be very strange. I need some cucumbers on my sandwich, Miles. Slice thinly, if you please. Have I missed? No. I started like 2 hours ago. Didn't Professor Pickle have a speech or something about this? I'm sure he did. It's Maria's niece. Well, because specifically, I want to make it known what the relationship is, because in case people don't know that Maria had a baby sister. Because if you just say niece, it's like, oh, so like her brother's kid? It's just like, no, specifically her sister's child. Yes, Victoria's, yeah, Crystal Lee. Which I'm surprised that I didn't see credits of hers anywhere else. Sage and Frontiers call Tails Miles. She calls him by his name, like Miles Prower, but I don't think she refers to him specifically by that name. Like when addressing him, I should say. Like when she first meets him, she does say like, "Mo, you're Miles Prower," but like she doesn't really talk to him enough to, like Victoria just did, right? Or like the way Tori just did. Is there a confirmed age gap between Maria and her sister? No, she just says baby sister, so we can assume... The only thing we would know for certain is that Maria's sister was younger than her. Some people didn't know about the Earth splitting on Unleashed. I don't know how you don't know about that. What's wrong with a different... No, there's nothing wrong with it. I just don't know what he would sound like, because he was so obviously Dan Green. You know, so I don't know what he... It's like the Mephiles voice change, right? Also Dan Green. Sounded like this before. Now he just sounds like this. So it's just I'm interested to see who they would choose to do his voice. How old was Maria before the gun? 12. I'm pretty sure she was 12. Didn't Eggman call Tails Young Prower? Yes, he did. Young Prower has grown into his own. And I was right there. Are the Rivals games canon in the timeline? No. Well, okay. Oh, my camera is... Why is my camera off? Bespoke post? Huh. That has never happened before, I don't think. My camera just straight up crashed. Gosh. I'm sleeping. In the timeline that I was looking at, and something that I say in the video, is that there's one of two things that could be happening with the timeline. One is that the games that aren't featured aren't considered important enough to be a part of the timeline. That's one. The other is that they straight up are considering that they didn't happen. And the reason I think that that's kind of strange is because of free riders. Nothing too important happens in free riders, but it still gets a mention in the timeline. Nothing important happens, arguably, in Team Sonic Racing either, but it still gets a mention in the timeline. And I'm also wondering if that has to do with Racing Cross Worlds. Like, they're including those in the timeline because that game is coming out this year. But, again, nothing too important happens in them, so why are they being included in the timeline when games like... Especially, the one that I make the most stink about in the video are the Rivals games. Because... not only are neither of the Rivals games on the timeline, neither of the Rivals games are in the history of the series. Like, if you go to the history page of all the games' releases, the Rivals games are not on there. But, and I forgot this when I was recording it, but I put it in like a little side text. The Rivals games were not released in Japan. So it makes sense that Sonic Channel wouldn't talk about them, because they have, as far as Japan is concerned, and Sonic Channel is specifically a Japanese website about Japanese Sonic content, they wouldn't have a release date for that because that game never came out there. Isn't Rivals 2 supposed to be canon because it introduced Silver to the series? Well, no, not Rivals 2. Rivals 1 does that. But we know Rivals 2 has to be canon because there is a page of Gerald's journal that references the Ifrit in Shadow Generations, meaning we know Rivals 2 and by association Rivals 1 need to happen. But yes, that is absolutely something that I argued too, is that, like, where does Silver come from if the Rivals games don't happen? And when most of the, like, for example, Colors DS is not the one that's considered canon. Colors, the console version of Colors is. And Silver wasn't in that. But he is in Forces, he is in Team Sonic Racing, so he can't just come out of... He's obviously in Generations as well. He can't just come out of nowhere and know Sonic for no reason, right? The timeline can always update in the site. That's the thing, though. And I've heard people say that they're not done update. I don't know if there's a source on that, if they've said that they're going to update it in the future. But I don't know if they are, because they do... They reference specific things that I'm like, okay, if you're referencing this, why wouldn't you reference this more important thing? Like, for example, it references the events of Advance 3 and the creation of Gemerald and the fact that, like, at the end of it, Tails fixes Gemerald and he's a part of the Cream family. Why would they even bother mentioning that when it's something that's super unimportant to the point that we've never even seen Gemerald in a mainline game again, but not mention the origin of someone who's, like, a main character in the series? You know what I mean? It was confirmed that it was just highlights and they will add the other games. Okay. Oh, okay. Chris did say that the timeline is just highlight. Okay. Because I wanted to make sure that there was confirmation on that, and that I wasn't just going off of like a rumor. I have not read the Sonic ZC crossover. I have not read that, but I've seen like screenshots of it. I know that Sonic is faster than the Flash. General being part of Cream's family is pushing the comic, right? But for me, right, they're not talking about the events of the comics in the timeline, which I personally think is how it should be, because it's a series of games, and most people, if you're familiar with the games, most people are going to stick to just the events of the games, right? If you do read the comics, which are canon for better or for worse, that's additional information you have, but I feel like you can't, correlate the two on a timeline, right? Where it's just like, okay, here are all these characters that if you only play the games, you don't know, so read the comics. Weren't the comics kind of confirmed because of Frontiers? Yes, kind of. I mean, he just mentions... Here's the thing, too, is that what's weird about this, and I can't find information on this. If you guys can send me something, I would really appreciate that. But Styx, for example, Styx was also confirmed in the English script, but she is not mentioned in the Japanese script. And I've read that Tangle is mentioned in the Japanese version, but I can't find a clip of that. So I'm assuming that is true, just because it's mentioned, right? But I have not found evidence of the Japanese version mentioning Tangle by name. Like, when does each arc take place? Yeah, and that's the thing. I think that retroactively, especially when I was reading through some of the stuff, right, I was like, oh, that kind of puts the events of this other game into conflict, right? Or like when they were writing this comic, they didn't realize that stuff like Shadow Generations was going to be made at the time. And so, like, because there's a character, I can't remember if he was an Archie Comics character or if he's still around, but like Eclipse, who was also like a Black Arms character, like, would he have had an impact on the Black Arms incident in the games? Why doesn't he? And it's because like they are, even though they're canonizing the comics and saying that they are canon to the games, they are still keeping them separate, right? With the comic book characters having random appearances in offshoot games, like mobile games. So, like, it's like a soft confirmation, like, they are there, but, like, they're not in a main game yet, if ever, I don't think Sonic Boom cannot possibly tie into the mainline canon, because they're too different. They're in terms of personality, they're way too different. In terms of design, just design-wise, they're way too different. Jewel and Restoration HQ were mentioned in Japanese in Tales Tube. Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay. That is interesting. I don't, like, Restoration HQ, I think, is just post-Forces. I don't know much about the comics, so, like, I'm assuming that's just post-Forces, like everybody else that is part of the comics. I don't know. See, that's stuff that I think is just too confusing. And if, like, if you're much like me, right, because I would consider myself a game purist, not that I don't appreciate the comics for what they are, but I'm not someone who is actively reading the comics. I don't keep up with them. And so I get most of my information from the games, right? And so there's a lot of information where it's just like, I don't know why they can't just explain this in the games. And, like, why you would have information that's in the comics, or even in the manuals, too. Like, if there's something that's important to the story, don't lock it behind... As much as I love reading manuals, don't get me wrong, I do enjoy reading manuals because it comes with the game, right? And as much as I do enjoy reading through them, I feel like that's such a product of the past, like, keeping story information locked away in a manual. Because there's no reason you can't just explain it in-game. As of now, the comics haven't gotten to Frontiers yet. Okay, so there's a lot they can do still, then. Interesting. Where would Sonic X even fit into the timeline? It doesn't. It can't. The events of Sonic X are way too different. I mean, like, they reference the events of Adventure and Adventure 2, but the origins are way too different. Because in the origins, Shadow already exists. They already know Rouge. And they're from another world entirely. Whereas in the games, you know, Station Square is a part of the world they've always been in. So it's like they're completely different. You wish Superstars' story was well explained? Me too. I wish it was too. There may be some flexibility with storytelling in comics than in game form. Right. Well, and not as much as you might think, unfortunately, because like it's a group effort, and sometimes you have to constrain yourself to what your editors say, and I don't know how much of that is true for IDW and Sonic, right? I'm not sure how much, especially with like there are Sega mandates, and so you have to write characters a specific way. Apparently, I don't know all the ins and outs. I'm not part of the industry, but I would assume that there's not, I mean, there is flexibility, sure, especially because you can continuously write it like an issue a month or whatever it is. And so you can like change course halfway through if something were to happen. But that doesn't mean that, and you know, games are limited by budget as well. And I understand that. But at the same time, I think that there should be within that budget time, if you can find the time or the budget to allocate to certain things that are unimportant to the story, you can certainly find time and resources to allocate to mention and show off things that are important to the story. One of the things, Cosmo appears in a canon piece of Sonic artwork. Okay, but I mean, as like a background piece, and it's just a reference. That doesn't make it canon. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a reference at that point. Hello, Galactic Purple Spores. Thank you so much. Can't wait for more Game Sins. I don't know when the next one will be, but maybe soonish. I don't know. Do I think the storybook games are still canon? Yes. Precisely for the reason you just said. The generation still references secret. Like, if the rewrite had not mentioned or had not referenced secret rings, then maybe I'd be like, ooh, I don't know now. Like, I don't know if they are canon. But yeah, there's no way they're not. I don't think that, the reason I don't think they're mentioned in the timeline is because they're not important. Like, they're not important to the overall Sonic timeline. They're like little side stories that are self-contained. They don't affect the larger world. The IDW comics also mention secret rings. Interesting. Maybe I can do Mario Bros. 2. I've thought about it, because I mean, the last one before Sonic was Mario 1, and so I have thought about it, like just continue Mario. I already have the footage for it. I already have the script. I have it. I think I even recorded it already. It's just, it's been a while, and I'm like trying to lean into the Sonic theory stuff, but no, I definitely want to do more, for sure. Do any of the stories affect the world? Eggman does something, Sonic stops him, and the world kind of just returns to normal. I mean, that, yeah. The world at large really seems unaffected by what Eggman does, which I kind of think is funny. Which Mario 2, USA or Japan? Oh, shit, yeah. So I would be doing Lost Levels first, then USA. And I have, dude, I always forget. It's so funny that you asked that, because I always forget that I did record, A, that I did record Lost Levels, B, that I actually already scripted and recorded what I was going to do for the Everything Wrong with Lost Levels. Even in the script, I even say, like, dude, I forgot I recorded this. It was so long. I recorded that when I was living at Nathan's still. So that's a couple years old at this point. And I genuinely got, like, a little creeped out, because I was like, oh, man. Well, if I do Mario, I have to do the Lost Levels. And then I look at my hard drive, I'm like, wait. I have a playthrough of Lost Levels on my hard drive? In the format that I would do? I recorded this? And then I was watching and I'm like, wait, I do remember this. I do remember this. Which ones are my favorite? Doki Doki Literature Club was my favorite for the longest time. I think that has since been dethroned by Sonic X Shadow. I think after that, like most of the collabs I've done are pretty special to me. Like the Mario 64 one, that was the 3D All Stars one. I want to make like a separate version of that video so that people can just watch it in isolation if they want to. But I like that one a lot. Most of the stuff I've done with Nathan is pretty great. You know, obviously I love having Dylan whenever he does like Big the Cat stuff. For some reason, I have huge affection for the Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog one. I don't know why. That one's just really special to me, and I think it's because I streamed it with you guys. So like a lot of like the voices and the characterizations in that stemmed from the stream that we did. So I think that one has a special place in my heart for some reason. I don't know why. You believe every game is most likely canon besides Chronicles and crossovers? Like I would agree with that too. Yeah. The Hotel Mario contains what your favorite. It contains a lot of people's. You know what's so funny about that, and I love telling the story. The only reason I even did the CDI games, so Hotel Mario, Faces of Evil, and Wand of Gamelon, the only reason I even did those was because the first time I ever met Nathan in person, you know, this was the first time I ever like came to the States by myself as an adult, or I mean ever really, but by myself. He was like, you know what you should do? You know what would be really funny if you did the CDI games. And I'm like, oh, that would be really funny. This was still at a time when I wasn't capturing gameplay footage myself. So I had no problem just downloading the cutscenes off of YouTube. And I recorded that at his parents' house. And I'm a very self-conscious person. And I don't know what in me, I was just like, I have to be professional about this. You know, like I have to save face and like, I'm just going to perform. And like, if they hear me screaming my head off, they'll know that I'm doing it for work. And I never in a million years would I have ever thought that all toasters toast would have become like a meme on my channel. I never would have thought that. And yet like people love to reference it, tag me in it, and I think it's hilarious. What about Sonic 2 8-bit as a completely different story from its 16-bit counterpart? I think there's an argument to be made that like Sonic 1 and 2 8-bit are not canon. So in a theory of mine too is that like they do have very different stories, but I think that there is a place where you could argue that they both can happen. Like if Sonic 2 8-bit happens like right before Sonic 2 16-bit, it could work, you know? Pocket Adventure is probably non-canon due to licensing issues. Well, Pocket Adventure is also mostly like a retelling of the first 3 games, right? Like it's got levels from Sonic 1 and Sonic 2 and Sonic and Knuckles, I think. So like I don't know. I would agree that it's probably not canon, but there really isn't much of a story to that one anyway. And you plan to watch Undertale next? Undertale is another great one. Undertale, it's so funny because like it's so weird that Undertale's my most watched video. Because I understand why, right? Like Undertale's huge, and I figured it would do well. I was hoping it would do well when I made it. I didn't realize it would do as well as it has. But the reason I think it's so weird is because like that was the first time I ever did voice acting for an Everything Wrong With. And in the Shadow video, in the Generations video, I say to my younger self, like, just don't dub it the way I did. And I don't know how many people caught on to that. The reason I say that is because I dubbed the entire game so that like if there was ever a part that I needed to cut to, I already had the voice acting for it. And then later down the line, I realized like this isn't sustainable. I can't like I can't voice act entire ass games just to use like 2 seconds per scene. So why don't I just do the voice acting of the scenes that I'm gonna use? Fucking duh. And I felt so stupid after that fact. I was like, why did I dub a 10-hour ass game when I could have just been doing this? But yeah. What about Sonic R? I mean, Sonic R already has mostly a nothing. I mean, there's nothing that says it can't. Again, a lot of those spin-offs, right? They're just Sonic R, Sonic Advance 1, Sonic the Fighters. I am a little bit more willing to say is not canon. Oh, here's another thing too that I also talked about that I will talk about in the dissecting the timeline thing that's coming out this weekend. In the timeline, it says that, you know, it mentions Sonic CD, it mentions Metal Sonic, and then radio silence until Sonic the Hedgehog 4. Where it's like, yes, Dr. Eggman revived Metal Sonic on the Little Planet. I'm like, wait, do you mean to tell me that ever since Sonic CD, Metal Sonic hasn't been around? The uncut Undertale dub it's on my channel. One guy poorly dubbed Undertale. Does that mean that every time Metal Sonic is in a game, that game doesn't count? Does that mean that Triple Trouble isn't canon? Does that mean that The Fighters isn't canon? Does that mean that Sonic Drift 2 isn't canon? Does that mean that Knuckles' Chaotix isn't canon? Wasn't Sonic using Mecha Sonic? No. In all those examples, that was Metal Sonic. Mecha Sonic is... There's Mecha Sonic from Sonic 2. There's Mecha Sonic Mark II from Sonic and Knuckles. There's Silver Sonic from 8-Bit Sonic 2. Sonic Mania is... You're correct about that. Sonic Mania does have Metal Sonic in it. So how do they get around that? Heroes isn't... Well, Sonic 4 canonically happens before Heroes, though. Sonic 4 is the first modern game because it's like the bridge between Sonic Superstars is the last classic style game, or rather the last game with classic Sonic in it. Sonic 4 is the first game with modern Sonic in it. Every other Metal Sonic appearance in classic is just a copy. I guess, but at that point, why even revive Metal Sonic then? Why revive the original Metal Sonic then? Okay. Actually, Banjo, I think you may be right. I think that is what I didn't mention this, but when I was editing, I did think this too. I was like, wait, their explanation could be that this Metal Sonic is created by the Phantom Ruby, because technically, we may not even be going to all the locations that we go to in Mania. Because they all might be byproducts of the Phantom Ruby. Maybe the Drift games, Triple Trouble, and Fighters could have happened before... You mean... Before Mania? I mean, I would assume they would happen before Mania. Oh, that was something else, too. Is that, like, if Superstars is the first... Because it's the only game that mentions... Fang. And so I'm like, okay, if this is the only game that mentions Fang, what about all the other times, right? And all the other times that, like I said, if Metal Sonic is not in those games, for example, Sonic the Fighters, that means that Team Hooligan can't exist, but then who the hell, right? Who is going to understand the references in Sonic Mania? I know that they're not actually Bark and Bean, right? But they are characters that Heavy Magician is transforming into. So are those references meaningless now? We talking about Sonic lore? We absolutely are. When is the Mania Theory video? Oh, I don't even have one. I should write that down maybe. There's a Metal Sonic called Metal Sonic Kai. Correct. But yeah, I guess that is Metal Sonic Kai in the Japanese version, isn't it? That is like a powered-up version of Metal Sonic. But I think it's if I recall correctly, that's the same Metal Sonic with a powered-up CPU. I don't think it's a different Metal Sonic is the thing. But yeah. It was confirmed in an old statement that it's Metal Sonic 2.0. We're talking about what? We're talking about who? Did feature destroyed Metal Sonic copies in glass tube? Oh, really? It's been so long since I've played Mania. I don't remember. The hooligans at the beginning of the level are real. They just let Heavy Magician... They're at the beginning of the level? Oh, right. I think I remember that. It's been so long since I've played Mania. No, actually, I probably... Yeah, I haven't played Mania since the marathon. Almost 3 years ago. Jesus. You know what? That is entirely possible. I think there might be a Metal Sonic that Nega recovered and turned into 3.0, because that's a very similar Metal Sonic, and then like he just turns him into like the black version that we know. Metal Sonic Kai is confirmed to be the transformation of the giant. That's only true, I believe, in the English version though. Because I believe Metal Sonic Kai is the name of Metal Sonic in Chaotix in the Japanese version, but then technically that transformation didn't have a name. I think that was a fan name that like stuck. I mean, again, it was a name in Japanese that people thought was attributed to the red giant thing, and so in English we call the red giant thing Metal Sonic Kai, but I don't think the Japanese version has a name for that transformation. Will I debate all this in my Sonic Origins rewrite video? Was that scrapped? No. So the reason I haven't even been able to work on that yet is because I don't have all the footage I want, I think. Do I have all the footage already? I'll have to check. But that was put on the back burner because of all the projects that I've worked on since I started writing that. I started writing that like, what, a year or two ago? Jesus Christ, time flies by so fast. I still want to make that video. I still think I have hella arguments to make in that video. But no, a lot of this will not be discussed. I don't care what the timeline says. I'm rewriting it. Where did the name Kai come from? So I believe Kai means like superior, or like I forget what it means in Japanese, but it's like a word to denote like new version or like improved version or something like that. I forget what it is. That Kai being the transformation is a revision of the information. That's what it is. Yeah. That's what it is. Like Dragon Ball Z Kai, yes. Correct. Just like everything else Sonic, it's just like Dragon Ball. When your name is Kai. Hello, Freedom Fighter, how you doing? Is the Metal Sonic revived in the Bad Future Stardust Speedway? Does that mean that Eggman just brought in an alternate timeline version of Metal Sonic? Probably. Maybe. I don't know. Oh, you're referring to Rocket Metal Sonic from Sonic the Fighters? I mean, he shows up in the intro and then never again, so I don't even know if we should... He's probably not canon anyway. For Chaotix, it's confirmed Eggman salvaged Metal Sonic CPUs and put it into a revised body. That's what it is. Right. Well, no, is that in Chaotix or is that in Triple Trouble? Because I think, doesn't Triple Trouble say something similar too? You think Sonic Fighters makes more sense to be canon than most classic games? I disagree. It has 8 Chaos Emeralds. How do we deal with that? And then you have Espio in Mushroom Hill while Knuckles is on South Island and Tails is just on a random yacht. What? And then there's a Sphinx with Sonic's face on it. That doesn't make sense. Is Sonic an ancient? What was up with that? One could be a fake. You know what? The thing that kills me about that is that there is an 8th fight against a clone of yourself. They could have just not had that fight. And you would have had 7 emeralds. was explicitly said by Ian when Sonic made a series for Fang. I don't care about the comics. As it pertains to the games, unless the games say that it's canon, I don't care what the comics say. The comics also have a fucking little lamb that I've never seen in the games, so... It also has a little robot clown that I've never seen in the games. It's also supposed to be Eggman's daughter. When have I seen her in the games, though? Now, where does Waku Waku Sonic Patrol car take place in the timeline? That's an excellent question. I want to believe that happens before Sonic 1. This is before he takes over, like, he starts using badniks and anything. You would love to see remakes of the older spin-off. Me too. I would love it if they did that. I don't know. I feel like Origins was almost the perfect opportunity to do that, but it is a lot of games. So, like, I understand why they maybe wouldn't, but I kind of wish that they had. Like, at least, you know, stuff like Spinball and Knuckles' Chaotix, which are, like, more in the style of... I mean, even Spinball. Spinball isn't mentioned in the timeline at all, and I don't mind if that one's not canon, to be perfectly honest. Like, I don't mind if that one's not canon. Is the popcorn machine canon? Man, I sure hope so. Is Sonic Array? Where does it take place in the timeline? It can just... You guys are joking about this, but I do have answers for this in my rewritten. I can't... Man, here's the thing. That video is going to take forever to make, and I really can't focus on another long-ass video. I really need to work on shorter videos, because, like, this white space video was not meant to be this long. And, like, I'm really glad that SwankyBox, like, pretty much convinced me to separate it into 2 videos, because otherwise we wouldn't even have the first part out yet. But I know that my rewritten of the classic series is gonna be gigantic. So, like, I really want to make it, but my wallet says, please don't. We actually need to make money. Imagine Sega Sonic is, how do you explain Encore Mode? So my theory with it, when I was reading through the timeline, again, either they're sort of ignoring Sega Sonic the Hedgehog because it's an arcade game and so there's no, like, modern way to play it, and there's no accessible way to play it. And they might imply that Encore Mode is the first time Mighty and Ray show up. Now, do I agree with that? I don't necessarily disagree with it. I think it's fine if they are, but that is, you know, Sega Sonic could happen before or after Mania Plus, but I also think that they think it doesn't matter, is the problem. Want to split the rewritten into parts? I don't know how I would, is the thing. I don't know how I would, like, I don't know where I would cut it off. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what part 1 would be or part 2 would be. I don't know. Because some sections are way too short to be their own video, is the thing. Otherwise, I would do it like that. When does Sonic Schoolhouse take place? Are the Pico games canon? Is Tails canonically a music maker? I sure hope so, dude. Sega Sonic could be released for mobile? It could. No, I agree. Would Mania Adventures even matter? I mean, according to Sega, yes, but I don't know when. I mean, it obviously would have to happen post Encore Mode. I don't know when, though. And then the timeline never mentions when Classic Sonic is from in Generations. Like, it goes out of its way to explain when Sonic and Elise blew out Solaris, but then it never bothers to say when Classic Sonic is from. You know what I mean? Anyway, would I want a Sonic Chronicles sequel? I don't know. I want another Sonic RPG. Like, I want, like, a really good Sonic RPG. That would be hella sick. You're right. Sega Sonic could be released for Nintendo. I think it's just a matter of, like, they make the excuse that they don't know how to make the controls work. I think that that's baloney, personally. I think that you can make it work. Just modify it a little bit. If it changes the core gameplay too much, so be it. I mean, at least it's a way to be able to play the game. Both start with classic. Oh, maybe then. I don't know. Wasn't Sega Sonic talked about in a Tales 2 episode? I don't remember. I know they've said in another Tales 2 that they have fought Fang before. So Superstars is definitely not the first time Fang is there. But again, on the official timeline, it doesn't mention any other game that Fang is in. Which is why I'm like, okay, why would you not mention this? There is no length of time between Forces and Frontiers. I mean, technically, yeah, I mean, but time must have passed, at least a little. Mania, Chaos, Triple Trouble, Superstars. That could work. What the hell is the point of an incomplete time? I don't necessarily think it's incomplete. Like, what is on the timeline is pretty complete. Like, from a main story perspective, there are just little details here and there that, you know... granted, there are also big details here and there, such as Silver, Blaze, and Eggman Nega. But there are little details that, you know, that they don't really talk about. And a lot of the games are not talked about super in depth. Like, they cliff notes the hell out of each game, which is fine. I think I said it in the video, but I'm 90% okay with the timeline as it is. Because they do touch upon all the important things, but that 10% does bother me. That 10% is like, again, I don't necessarily disagree with where a lot of stuff is on the timeline. It's just the details of, like, what happened and where certain characters come from and... I'm gonna have to say it really slow every time. Does long time no see mean nothing to you people? Exactly. Classic Era happens in at least 3 years since Little Planet appears once a year and it appeared in CD4 and Mania. That's a good point. Yep. That is a very good point. Probably they're not telling where classic content comes from because it would conflict with generations. Probably. How? How would it conflict with generations? That's probably why they changed this enforces to another dimension. That's only true in the English version, though, because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that in the Japanese version, they never say that he's from another dimension. I think it's still said that he's from... Let me confirm this. Oh, sorry. Wrong spelling. Forces. We can show the world what the world can do. You are next to me and I'll be next to you. Pushing on through, I gotta go to bed.
Yeah, I'm back. But only because you have not downloaded Pi.
Shut up.
ドクターが世界を制圧する1ヶ月前
Shadow has dialogue in the Japanese version of episode Shadow? Bro. What the hell is with the English version, dude? Ugh. Friggin' ugh.
I'm not one to complain, but that's a lot, right? Way more than we can reasonably take on.
Wait, that does say you're the Sonic from another world. Hold on. And he does say Sekai, which means world. What? So even the Japanese version makes that stupid-ass distinction? So wait, this... What kills me is that... That still bothers me, though, because why would they change that? So it's not... Because Shadow Generations reinforces that that is his younger self. But then Forces says that Mania is a different world. At least Mania is. We don't know the other games, but at least Mania has to be a different world. But Mania has to be the same world as the classic world, though. That doesn't make sense. True. I mean, it was written in English first, but they could have changed it. That people think it's a mistranslation, but it's in fact the... Yeah, I mean, I don't know why that's a thing. And then Tails Tube comes in episode 4 specifically, which is after Forces. They don't change it, though. They don't change it in Gens. Because in Gens, he's still a younger version of Sonic. Rouge conversations. Hold on. Why am I looking this up? I have this footage. I can just show you myself. Trip's tribe could be a fifth of... Oh, true. That is true. It's Black Knight. Why are you showing up? Rouge. Conversation with Rouge. No. Wait.
No.
Rouge. No. Where's the first Rouge conversation? It's post... Yeah, Shadowverse not really... There we go. His past self is a lot younger. Get this, he's being helped by his younger self from the past. Broom shakalaka, dude. He is a past version of himself in Shadow Generations. And then the same character, supposedly, is a different version in Mania and in Forces. So, but Mania directly references the past events. So what? That doesn't make sense. Why would the timelines be split after split into what? And then be put back together again after what? What do you mean? Is the dialogue in the remaster in Japanese? And so the dialogue in the remaster... Oh, and for the remaster of Sonic Gens? I don't know, actually. I don't know how similar it is. I know that for Shadow Generations, it is pretty much one-to-one. Like, the dialogue in the Japanese and English versions of Shadow Generations are almost one-to-one. Exactly the same. And yes, and that's true. And according to Tails Tube, he is past Sonic. That is correct as well. Because in the episode where they're talking about the North Star Islands, it is confirmed that that is a past adventure. And in fact, that's a great point.
With the Planet Fitness Black Card, you can bring a friend anytime and so much more when you join today.
Hold on, that's a fantastic point. If they remember the events of Mania, that means that's a young version of them. That means that that's a young version of them, and that they're not. Is it the Amy one? No. Remember when?
Hi everyone, welcome back for another edition of
Tails Tube.
Looks like the gang's
North Star
all
Islands
here
are in
this
Superstars,
time.
right? Correct.
Yeah,
yes.
wow. You even got Knuckles off his flying piece of real estate.
I came to return what's left of his gizmo from earlier. It wasn't rock compatible.
So, what's up, Tails? Why'd you call us here?
There was a lot of introspection during our adventure on the Starfall Islands. It made me kind of nostalgic. So I thought I'd bring everyone together for a new segment I'd like to call Remember When.
You know, I wouldn't be opposed
Picked a
to a
banger for
leisurely
this
stroll
segment.
down memory lane.
You? Leisurely?
Yeah, how else would you keep up?
All right, guys.
Damn.
Let's wind the clock
Roasted.
all the way back. Back to the days when our travels first started.
Oregon's.
We had so many crazy adventures and met so many other cool people.
No way, dude.
Like,
Sonic
hey,
3's canon.
Remember Mighty the Armadillo?
Bro, look at that foot. I am convinced that there is a Sega mandate that requires them to use footage off of the original hardware. And the reason I say that is because if you look at this footage, it is a little blurry the way that it would be if you connected a Sega 32X to a to like a composite ass capture card. And it's not just that. If you look at the timeline, you will see screenshots for Sonic Shuffle and Shadow the Hedgehog that look blurry as shit. Meaning they could have only gotten those images, which is weird for Shadow the Hedgehog, because like you have the original. There's no way you don't have the original files. We have the original files, and we're fans, dude. We're just dumbass fans going into the files of your ROMs. There's no way you can't just grab that. I don't know. Why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they grab more crystal clear versions of their footage?
Oh yeah, man, I haven't seen that guy in forever.
It's no wonder. He's a lot like you, traveling the world, seeking out new adventures and challenges.
I remember when he helped out me and the boys.
I feel like Mighty looks right now. Like, bruh, you can't just say Chaotix isn't canon. You can't say that it isn't canon.
Back in the day. Real reliable guy.
I know, right? He's so sweet and kind and gentle. It's so nice that all his speed and strength didn't go to his head.
Yeah, he's basically a better version of Sonic.
Well, I mean, he's a great guy, but let's not get carried away here.
I don't know. He can spin dash like you, but his shell's unbreakable. He can power through stuff that stops you in your tracks.
So would you say he's stronger than you?
Who's next?
I don't know about that.
Tails?
About answer the question.
Oh, we can't talk about Mighty without mentioning his best buddy, Ray the Flying Squirrel. Oh, he's so cute. Oh, he's so bright and sunny, just as his name suggests.
Aha! There's the reference to Sega Sonic. It must have happened. When? We don't know, but it must have happened.
He's sure come a long way from the scared little kid Mighty and I first met.
I loved hanging out with him. He could use his tail in special ways.
He came a long way from the scared little kid Mighty and I first met, meaning that was the first time he and Mighty met too, meaning it must predate Mania. Huzzah! We have figured it out.
Just like me. And he was a...
Ian Flynn said a while ago that Tales Tube was not canon, but speculative content. What the fuck? But the whole point of Tales Tube is to consolidate... I don't trust a goddamn thing anybody at Sega says anymore, to be fair. Because it wasn't the whole point of Tales Tube to consolidate information on the series. You can't just make something that's meant to have that purpose and then be like, oh wait, that's not canon, right? Because again, don't get me wrong, I don't love the idea of having to use Tales Tube as a source of information, right? I would rather get this information from the games, but in lieu of that, if I have a video series that I can just consult that is released officially by the studio, that I can reference and get my information from them, why would I not do that? Why would the lore master just be like, nope, not canon, sorry, because the information they get is wrong too? It's like, dude... There's no way Tales to... Like, maybe... Okay, let's say it like this, right? Maybe the events of Tales Tube are not canon, right? Maybe this conversation that's happening right now isn't canon. And granted, maybe that would, like, destroy everything else. But then what's the point of this then? Like, why do we have Tails Tube if this doesn't matter? What's the point of having a series where you keep talking about things about the series if this series isn't gonna matter? I don't know, man.
Master at gliding. Oh, he could go on forever.
Yeah, well, in that case, forget Tori. Except we can't because she's already canon in Shadow Generations. So come on.
Yeah, but you get tired after a few.
For new audiences, well, yes, for new audiences, but if these conversations aren't canon, then new audiences shouldn't be consuming this anyway. Because this information is, by all accounts, not canon, so why should anybody listen to anything that's being said in these conversations if this isn't meant to be taken at face value in canon? You know what I mean?
Few minutes. You know, those two are basically like upgraded versions of you.
Knuckles.
What? I was just saying.
Unfortunately, not everyone we've ever met has been a friend. Oh, I can't remember how many times we had to deal with Fang the Hunter.
I can't remember how many times we had to deal with Fang the Hunter, meaning it was more than once.
Fang the... Wait, hold up. I thought his name was Knack the Weasel.
Nope, that was an alias. His real name is Fang.
And he's not even a weasel. Wasn't he some kind of wolfy thing?
Nope, a gerboa.
Huh.
That's so crazy to me that they
I remember him being called Fang the Sniper. Oh, not that I mind the change. So
like they went through the
unnecessarily
trouble of
violent.
explaining that he's a gerboa.
He's gone by a bunch of different names, probably to escape punishment for his life of crime.
I never liked the guy. I mean, what kind of jerk willingly works with Eggman?
Yeah, what kind of jerk would do that?
And see, like, this is Dreamcast footage, too. This one is particularly strange for me because, like, I feel like they would use the DX version, which is the more recent, like, the HD version. Not that I mind that they use the Dreamcast version, I just think it's strange. But this is a perfect example of what I mean. Why are they using... This is a texture file. This is a file that's used in right? This is the poster from City Escape, right? Anyway, this is clearly just that texture file. It's not a zoomed in version of City Escape footage. So why can't you just use source material from your computers? Can't you just play your games on like the source material and record it from there? That's what I mean.
Crime.
I never liked
Hey, what's
the
up,
guy.
Bimbo? How you doing?
I mean, what kind of jerk willingly works with Eggman?
Yeah, what kind of jerk would do that?
One time.
Well, some fuzzy math going on there. It's more like 3 times, but who's counting?
At least we haven't had to deal with him or his gang for a while.
Or his gang.
We've met so many people across the globe, but it's so hard to keep in touch sometimes. It's nice to sit
Dude,
around
they're
and
using
revisit these memories
unleashed
together,
footage.
though.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
You know, all this looking back has been nice and all, but I'm more about living in the moment. For example, in this moment, I am living for some lunch.
Well, we're all here. Let's have a cookout.
Woohoo!
Yeah, party until...
How did they capture this? Oh, GameCube. Yeah, GameCube, probably. I didn't think that one through.
Place.
Nice.
Looks like we're doing this. Guess we'll have to get back to reminiscing another time. Bye, everyone.
No, speaking of all this history, aren't we coming up on the anniversary of our adventure on North Star Island?
Oh, yeah. I wonder if we can invite...
Makes me so sad, dude. I want a modern version of Trip, damn it. Show me Trip, modern, damn it. That was Unleashed, it was Unleashed. Wasn't that Fang's previous name in Japan? How did they explain that change from Sniper to Hunter in Japan since Knack the Weasel was Fang's previous name here? I mean, they basically just said that he goes by... Which I think is a fine explanation. Like, he just goes through different aliases. I mean, if he's a criminal, then it makes sense. I don't know why he would use his real name as an alias, but... Oh, but screw Modern, Mighty, and Ray. Yeah, they can stay classic as far as I care. I want to see Modern Trip. I thought you said Unleashed. No, isn't that footage of Unleashed? I'm not kidding. Because that's not Unleashed HD, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Oh, no, it is Unleashed HD.
Sit
Hold
around
on.
and
I thought it was
revisit these memories
Unleashed.
together, though.
Yeah.
My bad. I thought it was Unleashed. We got Modern Mecha Mark II. Oh, yeah, from the comics, right? Well, okay, in the comics, though. Why can't we show classic characters as modern? We show these four all the time. I'm losing it. I should go to bed. All right, that was fun. Man, I'm still shocked that we have we can put a voice and a character to the face of Professor Victoria. I'm really curious what they're gonna do with her, because I get the feeling there is something way bigger in store for the character. I feel like because if that's all they're gonna have her do, right? If the only thing they're gonna have her do is be like a Tales Tube character or like a character in the comics or whatever, I feel like they really hyped up something that ended up being not a whole lot. No offense. Like, to the point that you were teasing her in Tales Tube, you teased her as part of like concept art. You teased her in the third Sonic movie. Like, the third Sonic movie, dude. That's huge. And then, her first appearance is in a Tales Tube. Like, no offense. Not that that's not fun, but, like, I was kind of hoping it would be a much bigger reveal as to who she is. And that's why I'm thinking, like, maybe there is something more in store for that character that we just have yet to see. That was just, like, a really, like, okay, we need to let people know who she is, what she's about, what's going on here. So, yeah, you doubt they'll do much? Yeah, I hope they do. I hope they do something with it and not just, But yeah, I think that I'm very curious to know what the next mainline game is going to be. And I know we just got Shadow Generations. I know. But I want to know what, like, the next open zone game is going to be. I'm very curious, because I don't know if they're going to follow it up with a more traditional, like, here are the levels and this is the hub world kind of thing, like Shadow Gens, or if they're going to go the Frontiers route again, where it's just like, the open zone is the level, and then you have, like, mini levels in the form of the cyberspace. I don't know what they're going to do. And so I'm excited to know where they're going to go gameplay-wise and especially story-wise with this. Because if they're really focusing on the story, you would kind of hope that they're going to do something with that story, right? And it's not just going to be whatever. What if she's the new Professor Pickle for the next mainline game? I'd be fine with that. Actually, I'd be pretty fine with that. I'd actually really be okay with that. You like the Shadow Gens formula better? I think I do too, because I really did love how they handled Shadow's white space, because it felt like a level in and of itself too, compared to... I know I really shouldn't go on this tangent, but I really love how they handled Shadow's white space as its own level that only expanded the more levels you played. Whereas Frontiers, you have the open zone the entire time. So there's really rarely ever a location that you can't go to from the very beginning of the game. Like, most of the things that are locked away are locked behind story stuff, which is okay, right? The same is kind of true for Shadow, but at least for Shadow, you get to play fully fledged levels, even if they are just like 2 to 4 minutes in length. They feel fully realized. They feel like full, fun levels. And then white space is just like, I don't want to say a cherry on top, because I feel like it's definitely part of the experience. You will still be spending, most likely, most of your time in white space, but that balance is so much better, because the cyberspace levels in Frontiers are very, very short, and they're not super fun. They're definitely nowhere near as fun as the levels in Shadow Gens were. And so I think that if they stick to the formula of Shadow Gens, where like the open zone is nowhere near as big as it is in Frontiers, but it's still pretty big to where it feels like its own level. Like, I would almost argue that white space in Shadow Gens was more the size of, like, what the hell is it called? Soliana, like, the actual Castletown. Castletown from Soliana. Which begs the question, what ending is canon in Frontiers, normal or Final Horizon? Well, if Sonic Racing Crossworlds is canon, that would mean that Final Horizon is canon because of Sage's design in that game. How's stream been? Hello, what's up, Emmy and Greg? How's stream been so far? It was a fucking disaster at the beginning, but we made it through. Nintendo Direct was fun. Seeing Tori and stuff in Tales Tube was also... We've just been talking about the timeline. We've been talking about theories. We've been talking about a bunch of shit. Yeah, I mean, it honestly, ultimately, it doesn't super matter which ending is the real one, because ultimately both end the same way anyway. I've seen some people say, like... And this is so weird to me, because people are like, oh, but Sage died in the original ending. It's just like, yeah, did you, like, not see the post-credit scene? Where, like, Eggman revives, like, he downloads a copy of her off the cloud? Like, that happened. I don't know how you don't know that. That's true, Alex. That's true. Flicky Island from 3D Blast is mentioned in Shadow Gens, and that's another one that we know has to be well... We don't strictly have to know that it is canon, because it could just be a location without the events of that game having happened, but come on, it had to have happened. They had to have happened. You think Shadow Gens is a headcanon since it's a side story of Generations? I don't get where the logic of that being a headcanon comes into play. I mean, basically the same series of events kind of happen. Like, the Shadow versus Sonic cutscene doesn't happen the exact same way as it does in Sonic Generations, but the overall outcome is the same. So, do I prefer Sage with the red and black or white and blue? I don't know. I like both. I think red and black just because that's what I'm used to, but I love the idea of, like, a villain character having the white and blue color scheme. I think that that's really cool. Because she looks nothing like what you would expect a villain to look like. And she looks so different from, like, the rest of the Eggman family. Wouldn't her memories be incomplete in the OG ending, though? Her memories of what? All right, tie-dye ninja, take care now. I'm going to go to bed soon, too. How do I feel about the next game expanding the lore of Gaia the same way Frontiers did for Chaos? Oh, fuck. I kind of love that idea. I would... wow. Like, they go to wherever the Gaians were from or something. That would be cracked. I love that idea. Plus her being placed Professor Pickle in concept art. I love that. Wouldn't her memories also be uploaded to the cloud? In Final Horizon? Sure. I mean, what? Isn't Sage a hero now? No. No, she is Robotnik's baby girl through and through. I mean, because even Final Horizon, if you look at it, she teams up with Sonic, yes. But she says, like, what is it at the beginning of it? Where he's like, we'll help you save the world. Oh, so Eggman can just go back to trying to take over? It is his to rule. And so, like, she will never be good, and that's not bad. The Gaia are a species? You thought it was just the two of them? So in the latest Tales Tube, Professor Victoria mentions the Gaians, who are a race of people, I think, who revered Light and Dark Gaia, but may not be related to them, I think, is the thing. Sage's memories would mostly be there, but she'd be reverted back to whenever she was backed up. But she might have been backed up, like, right before that fight. She calls Eggman father at the end, so I don't think that she remembers that little. Or rather, I don't think she forgot that much if she knows that Eggman's her daddy. Also, Sage was supposed to be a one-time character, but because of popularity, she came back, maybe. She was revived at the end of the game. What? No, like, in both versions, she was revived at the end. Where is this she was a one-off character coming from? You saw the color change as also leaning towards Sonic. I saw the color change more as her being true to herself. I saw that as her being more complete as a character. Like, because it happens every time that she's happy about something. Not necessarily every time she does something heroic. Because there are times where, like, Sonic will say, like, you know, I'm really good friends with the people I fight for the people I love. Isn't that the same for you and Eggman? And then she kind of, like, turns white and blue for a little bit. And that has nothing to do with her being heroic. It just has to do with her having like, positive emotions. Yeah, she was in the Murder of, which technically, I mean, to be fair, that's a headcanon. But, you know, she's in the new racing game. They revived her just in case she'd be popular. I mean, I guess. But I mean, that doesn't matter ultimately. She was revived anyway. If she was popular or not. I mean, we know, dude, they bring Zavok back all the time and nobody likes Zavok. So it doesn't matter if you're popular or not. The loading icon also changes from a sharp triangle to a smooth pentagon. I never noticed that detail. That's sick. Crossworld is going to be stacked if they did what they did in the previous mobile game. That's the thing. I've said this before, but like, Crossworld is like the first game where I'm like totally cool with them consolidating all the timelines and stuff. So like, yeah, dude, bring in Marine, bring in some obscure ass characters, bring in the classics, bring in the IDW characters, bring in everybody. I don't care. Especially, like, even if it had a story, but like, especially if it doesn't, dude, go nuts. Bring in Honey the Cat, Bark the Polar Bear, Bean the Dynamite, Speedy the Cuckoo Battle Clan guy from Tails Adventure. Dude, bring in the Disney characters from Tails Sky Patrol. Bring in those weird ass animals from the Pico games. Bring in who else is there? Dude, bring in Shade. No, you can't do that because Penders. But wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't that be something? There better be tracks from Blaze's Dimension and Crossroads. That would be sick. I mean, we do have Water Palace from the original Rush, but that's in Sonic's Dimension. So, give us Batman. Dude, give us Batman, man. He's canon now. Rouge from Rouge Tennis or whatever it was. Rouge and Emmett Tennis! Oh, dude, I would pay good money to see that fucking nightmare-ass version of Rouge in a Sonic game. Oh, that's so funny. Bring in the... Dude, that'd be sick. Bring in the guy, the driver of the Radmobile car with the little Sonic rear view mirror ornament. Shadow basketball in a customized car. What if they bring in characters from other Sega IPs? I think that they have said in like on their websites and stuff that is what they're doing, because there was a level in the beta that is based off of another Sega game that's not a Sonic game. It's based off another like really obscure Sega arcade game. So like I think that they have said too that they're bringing in like other Sega characters. So I think it's basically going to be a Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing game, but mostly leaning towards Sonic characters. Gerald drives a casket. Dude, bring in Gerald, bring in Maria, bring in Abraham Tower, dude. Bring in Abraham's wife. Bring in Tori. Bring Professor Pickle in a fucking cucumber sandwich mobile. Bring in Chip. Bring in Dark. That'd be fucking hilarious if you just play as Dark Gaia and like Dark Gaia's the biggest ass like thing in a car. Bring in the Gaia Colossus, second biggest ass thing. No, Gaia Colossus is the car. Bring in the Werehog, dude. Why not? Make Sonic the Werehog only at the nighttime stages. Bring in Darkspine Sonic. Bring in Elise. Bring in the Duke of Soliana, dude. Abe has a wife? Yeah, dude. Abe, it was revealed. He mentions her, I believe, in the super hard missions of Shadow the Hedgehog, which I've never listened to because I've never played those levels. But apparently that's canon. Yeah, bring in the end, dude. I want to play as a moon. Bring in Solaris' Final Four. Bring in the Time Eater, bro. Fucking, I want to play as a... That's so funny, dude. I feel like you would just make it the Crash Nitro Kart of racers, or you're playing as the most insane shit. Just playing as these gods. Bring in Metal Overlord. Bring in the Biolizard. Dude, I want to play as Pachacamac driving a car. Abraham Tower with the... Oh, that would be hilarious. It was him the whole time. Oh, thank you for the 2-hero squad. The Time Eater isn't a character, it's a car. Oh, dude, you're so... It's just like a... That'd be sick, actually. Like, if it's just this purple, glowy-ass car, and you're just like... That's sick. Bring in Perfect... Well, how does Perfect Chaos drive, though? Perfect Chaos can't drive. He has no feet. Oh, you're right. Chip would be riding the... You're right. Chip would have to be driving the Gaia Colossus car. You're so right. You're so right. Bring in... This would be the perfect opportunity to bring back Tails Doll, dude, from Sonic Superstars. It'd be the perfect opportunity to bring back Metal Knuckles and Egg Robo. Why isn't Egg Robo here? That'd be so cool. How would Maria drive? She's a kid and dead. I don't know, man. It's cross worlds. There's gotta be a world out there where she's alive and not a child. Adult Maria, dude? That'd be nuts. Imagine the emotional damage that would do to Shadow. It's the 4 a.m. getting to you. Emmy, you stay up way too late, but I get it. Bro, what did you just say? That's wild. That's crazy. Yeah, Chaos is 0 through 6 can drive, but not Perfect Chaos. That's too much. I want to play as Tikal in a car based off of the Chaos temples. I want to play as one of the ancients in Sonic Racing Crossworld. I want to play as Styx, the badger, in Sonic Racing Crossworlds. That's the thing. We're getting characters from Prime, but like you're not going crazier than that. Go fucking nuts. Like if you're bringing in characters from a fucking Netflix show to be racers in this, who cares? Go insane. Like the sky is the limit, dude. Bring in Johnny. Bring in Johnny from Sonic Rush and bring in Johnny from YouTube. Juan Ortiz. Bring in... Who's your favorite Sonic Tuber? Bring them in. Bring in Chow Mix. Yeah, Johnny Lightfoot. Bring in. Oh my god. Yeah, bring in the Avatar. That'd be sick. Bring in Dan from Salty DK Dan. Yeah, bring in Chris from Sonic X. Bring in Sam Procrastinates. Oh, dude, bring in Lumina and Void and Lumina. Yes, bring in Wade Whipple, dude. I would love to play as Wade Whipple in a bowling ball. In the bowling pin car from the Knuckles show, that'd be sick. That you've done Danica Patrick in Sonic and Sega All Stars. You're telling me you can't AI scan Adam Pally and put him in a fucking bowling pin car? Cowards, dude. Well, now I gotta extract that and use that as a short. Yeah, Riceberry Bingle must be in it. Bring in Cosmo. Bring in Knights. I love the idea of Knights' full name being Knights into Dreams. Bring in Kid Cudi, dude. I want Milk the Chow from fucking Sonic Colors DS in Sonic Racing Crossworlds. Bring in Pac-Man from hit video game Dark Labyrinth, coming to Switch 2025. Oh my god. So we've just been saying stupid stuff, dude. I'm surprised that Eggman the Descendant, Nega, isn't gonna be in this. He should be in this. He should be. Bringing your Mii's from hit game Tomodachi Life. Greg. Bring in fuck. I'm trying to think of like really obscure Sonic characters. Dude, bring in Gemerald. Why not? Bring in Vanilla. Bring in that one ugly ass kid from Sonic Chronicles, the one that we save, who's getting attacked by one of the robots. Timmy? No, there's Timothy, who we saved from the bottom of the well, even though he's a grown ass man. Bring in Bikini Girl from Sonic Adventure, who's like at the pool near Emerald Coast. Bring in ugly ass CGI girl from Sonic Adventure 2. Bring in the radio Eggman uses from Sonic Heroes. Bring in random gun agent number 12 from Shadow the Hedgehog. Bring in random black arms alien number 15 from Shadow the Hedgehog. Bring in bring in, trying to think of really obscure people. Bring in Pele, the fucking athletic dog from Sonic 06. What the fuck is his name? Pele the what dog? Oh. Bring in bring in fucking Pinto, dude. Bring in the president from Sonic. Pele the beloved dog, thank you. Yeah, bring in the ice cream guy from Sonic Unleashed. Oh, no, what the hell is the name of the bosses from Sonic Triple Trouble? Yeah, it was the Ladybug boss, but no, what the hell is... Bring in Woodbutter Rundorf from Sonic Triple Trouble. Bring in Giga Thomas Penn from... Bring in the spider. No, dude, the squid. You gotta bring in the squid from Frontiers. Bring in Monkey Dude. Bring in Monkey Dude from Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Bring in oh god, who's someone obscure? Dude, bring in the obscure ass E10,000 robots from Riders. Bring in shit. This game needs to have 1,384 characters or I'm not fucking buying this. Dude, bring in Wreck-It Ralph from hit video games Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing on Xbox 360. Bring in The koalas from Sonic Rush Adventure. Bring in the Ifrit from Sonic Rivals 2. Bring in Lego Sonic and Ugly Sonic from Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. Bring in... How many bring-ins can I say? The words bring in mean nothing to me anymore. Scrappy with the 5. Thank you so much. There should be a cart made out of scrap Badnik designs. That'd be sick as hell, actually. You know, it's funny you say that. I was literally just thinking, like, what if all the animal friends were like, you know how like the Chow, light, dark, what was it? It was light, dark, and Omo Chow, and I think it was regular, light, dark, or sorry, regular, hero, dark, and Omo Chow were like a racer in Team Sonic Racing. Why don't you do the same thing but with all the animal critters? Ricky, Pecky, Cucky, Becky, Chucky, Ducky, Flicky, Pembo, Squirmo, Timber, Flippo. I gotta go to bed. They could bring in Corone. They sure could. They absolutely could. Bring in the Burger. That'd be epic. The Burger Man statue. Oh. Oh, dude, how could we forget Sonic Man? You don't get Sonic, you get Sonic Man. You don't get as you get Ancient. That'd be, dude, that would be the can someone please, who, like, there's so many talented game designers and programmers in the Sonic community. Can someone please make a Sonic racer with the most obscure Sonic characters you can think of, but don't include any of the main cast? Like, don't include any main characters in any of the Sonic games. Only include minor characters. I want Sonic Man. I want Burger Man statue. I want random Ancient number 2. I want random man from Apotos number 3. Yeah, bring in Fidel, dude. Bring in Fidel just for the hell of it. Oh, how did it's such a shame that King Boom Boo is an item. I want to race as King Boom Boo. I want to race as the Egg Golem from Sonic Adventure 2, dude. Can someone please make like a separate game from that that's just all boss characters from the series? But like random ass ones, like the third boss from Sonic 4 Episode 2. The final boss from Sonic Labyrinth. That's just a real ass version of Roger Craig Smith. Okay, it is 12:30. I should go to bed. Thank you for spending time with me. That was very fun. There should be a new video coming out this weekend, and for patrons and channel members, there should be an additional video coming out this weekend too. If you want some behind the scenes action on my very first video that I uploaded to this channel, it is terrible, and I forgot just how terrible it is. But you get to see me react to it. You get to see me talk about my creative process behind it. Creative process. You get to hear me talk about what it was I did back in the day and how it was I made videos. So if you guys want to know more about that, consider becoming a member, a channel member. It is not super expensive from what I know. You can hit the join button underneath this stream or underneath any one of my videos. We would love to have you. It's I'm trying to think of more ways to like incentivize the community. I know that Greg has been such a goddamn trooper and sweetheart. I'm so sorry that I've not had the time to catch up. I haven't talked to anybody. I haven't talked to any of my friends in months because I've been so busy trying to make that bread. And I feel bad because I haven't. There are so many people who have like sent me messages and I have not gotten back to them. I want to do that soon. I want to hang out. I want to catch up. And I want to do something for the community. Greg has been such a sweetheart in like trying to do stuff with the Discord. And I haven't looked into exactly what the monthly thing that they're doing is, but I know that he and Emmy and like other people are like coming up with concepts and they're keeping that thing alive, and I really appreciate you guys. And you know, again, just liking, commenting, subscribing, all that stuff. Continue to do. Watch old videos while you're at it. Why not? That sounds fun. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I will see you guys Saturday, probably. Not like actually me Saturday, but you guys will see me at least on Saturday. And I don't know when I'll see you guys next time live, but hopefully not. It'll be soon-ish, maybe. Oh, for the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct. That's probably when I will see you guys next time. And Sarah will be here with me too. So I love you all. I'll see you guys then. Alf Layla Y Layla in a dude with the genie of the lamp as the car. Get out of here. And the world rings as the wheels. Forget about it. Good night, everybody. Bringing Merlina, but the wheels on her car just soared. They go.